and right back down the other side. How far will you go? With no guarantee, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your midweek start of the week. It's a Monday. Feels like midweek, doesn't it? We are live from the Manchester Flight Sim Centre, and here we are. Mr. jonFezza is on board.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to, well, a very different Monday Flight Night. You are live, or we are live, from the Manchester Flight Sim Centre here at Airliners Live HQ at Barton. And I am very pleased to announce that I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Mark Langston, who is our Airbus captain. Good evening, Mark. How are you
doing? Hello, John. You right?
I am very good,
Hi,
mate.
everyone.
Welcome in. And this evening we are going to be doing maybe one or two failures, maybe three, maybe four. We'll see what the night takes us, maybe, Mark.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see.
We'll see. See how well you do.
I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome on in. Thank you very much for tuning in. And here at the Manchester Flight Sim Centre, they are actually running 20% off at the minute. So if you use code SIM20 here at Manchester Flight Sim Centre, links will be in the chat from our lovely moderators. And you can get yourself 20% off and come fly this. The full motion, not full motion, incorrect, the full A320 experience. You've been flying a couple hours with me, Mark. Have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, I've been loving every second of it, John, mate.
I know, stuck with me, mate. But, yeah, we've been having a bit of fun and games.
We have. It's been good.
Has indeed.
It's
has
been
indeed.
good. We've had fun. We've had fun.
Right, let's see who is in the chat. We've got Mr. Benji, Mr. Matt Smith, Tracy Sellers is here. Hope you guys are doing well. Wrong airport, Fezza. It's already started. It's already started. I haven't even put my hand on the stick. It's already started.
Oh, well.
Mr. Carl Crawford, very good. Evening, Nabila, Angie, Infinite, everything. And please don't spam the chat, otherwise I will ban you. Well, there we go. Shall we take people through what we're going to do this evening, or shall we leave it as a surprise?
Well,
I think running through a little bit about what we're going to do.
Yeah,
a little bit, yeah. So, what we're doing, every time we go flying, we do a comprehensive safety brief. So, the main man's about to get one of those. We set this aircraft up, we're going to take off out of Manchester on runway 23 right, and we're going to sunny Belfast, except it's not sunny in Belfast, it's thick fog. But it's nice here, and we like it here. So, we're going to get started. The aircraft's set up, ready to go. I'm about to do the takeoff. We're going to brief John about how we're going to fly it, the important bits about the takeoff, and the emergencies that may occur at some point. And then we're going to do it, and you can watch us work together as a team.
me, a team player.
There's a first
We'll
time
find
for
out.
everything. He may even make it back to the correct airport. He may even make it to Belfast. You never know.
Probably got more chance to make it to the Barton, though, haven't we?
Yes.
Yes. And Mr. Some bloke who travels a lot, I've got a button up here. If I press this... No, not your button. My button's better. We have a bing bong in the actual flight deck, ladies and gents. Mr. Some bloke who travels a lot with a £20 super chat kicking us off. Good luck, Fezza. Enjoy it. Yeah, I need the luck.
And can we have confirmation in the chat? You can actually hear the bing bong button, guys, because we want to make sure you can hear that bing bong for all your donations. We'll do another
Mark,
test.
press it again. It's pretty
Let us know in
loud.
the chat
Pretty
if you
loud
get
for
a yay
me.
or nay on if we can hear that bing bong. If not, I've got.
No, I would never want that BTEC bing bong, do we?
We want
Who
the
wants a
proper
BTEC bing bong?
luxurious.
And some bloke who travels a lot says even bigger luck to Captain Mark. Well,
I need all
he
the help
might-
I can get, mate.
maybe a few Westons as well, but we don't have any tonight. So we've got loads of years in the chat. They're all loving the bing bong, loud and clear. You doing emergency landings? Well, you'll have to wait and see. Right, Mr. Mark, shall we get on with?
Shall we get on with it? Right then. So we'll start with our brief before every departure and every landing. We brief thoroughly, and it goes something like this. We start off with what's called want. Starts off with weather. It's a glorious day.
For Manchester?
For Manchester, it is. It's a special day. There's no weather, there's nothing to affect, there's no thunderstorms, and if we needed to return, this would be my preferred option. The aircraft is fully serviceable. That may well change. There's no notices to affect us about the airport. We've made it to the runway in one piece. And the threats to consider. Well, first one is your minimum safe altitude around here is 3,500 feet. To mitigate that, on your navigation display, you've got terrain displayed. So it tells us where the high ground is.
And at the minute, the high ground is 1,300 feet off our left-hand side.
Yep, and behind us is 3,500 feet should we come back in for any reason. Another threat is we've got this ECLAD departure. It's taken us over the top of Liverpool. We may have aircraft coming into Manchester from over Welsh Wales and Bristol area, descending down above us. So as we level out at 5,000 feet, we'll have to watch our rate of climb. We may have to use vertical speed to reduce it slightly. Other than that, it's a lovely day.
It's a lovely day to go flying.
Any reason not to go flying?
Exactly.
Shall we do it?
I think we might, but before that we have... Go for it, Mark. Press it.
Go.
Mr. G. Jackson with a £5 super chat saying, test that bing bong again. There you go, mate.
It works.
And Mr. Plain spotting Mike.
And I want
double.
Oh, look at that.
So another £5. Thank you very much, guys. Here is a donation towards it. Weston's are strong, but I need them. Where's the Uber delivery? Thank you very much.
Drinks in that flight, mate. It's too expensive.
Yeah. I wouldn't really want to spill anything in here. Probably.
Right.
To be skint. Right.
We'll get there. So, the last part of the brief is the emergency brief. Up to 100 knots, I'm going to call stop for anything I'm not happy with. 100 knots to V1, I'm only going to call stop for any fire, engine failure, ECAM, or if it's obvious aircraft's unsafe and unable to fly. If I call stop, you'll be in no doubt because I'll shout, squeal or scream it. Close the thrust levers, select full reverse, we monitor the auto brake, keep the aircraft straight on the runway, the wind straight down the runway so there's no critical engine Once we've stopped, I'll stow the reversers, set the park brake, make the attention crew at stations call. We'll set the brake fans, and we'll sit back and we'll have a nice big deep breath just to slow everything down.
Calm ourselves down.
And then we'll read the ECAM and work through the procedure to find out what's gone on. V1 and onwards, we'll take the problem into the air. Positive climb, get the gear up, we'll cancel any bells or whistles, we'll get it trimmed, autopilot, heading, toga full power. We can return if we're on fire and it won't go out, straight back into Manchester, we'll keep flat one out, fly downwind and come back in and land, let it burn, go for a pint.
I like the last part of that.
I like the sound of that too.
Champion.
Right.
Happy days.
Happy to go?
I am ready.
Right then. Today our call sign is a live 100 kilo.
100. Why is it 100 kilo?
Well, because maybe someone got 100,000 subscribers recently. That's why we're doing this. But
Hey, we'll have a bit of that call sign.
and we'll have another bing bong for that because I feel like it.
And with the bing bong, we'll before we head out, we will get Jeanette McKenzie with a £10 super chat. Bing bong, good luck. Thank you very much,
And another
Jeanette. And Mr. Andy B. Oh, you should be on that camera, not messing about. With a 99 pence. Thank you, mate.
Oh,
Appreciate
good
that.
man.
And Matty Smith, £1.79. Whatever.
Go on.
Thanks very much, everyone. And
luck.
just a quick heads up as well, if you do send a donation in, we are keeping track of it, but this is going to be a very hectic show, folks. So
very
there
high
may be a
workload.
slightly longer delay than usual on reading out your donations, but of course we will get to them as soon as we can.
And if I miss any of them, Martin will we'll sort us out.
And Melissa's in the chat. Hi, Melissa. Sorry I missed you yesterday. I wasn't invited.
Neither was she, but she rocked
Oh,
up.
there you are then. See, if only I'd have known. I was only 180 miles away.
No, never mind.
Right then. Happy?
Happy. Let's go.
Let's go. That brakes off. Take off.
Mod check, yay or nay on sim sounds, please.
Mantoga SRS runway.
For a set.
Should have fired by now. Okay. Okay, engine one fire. Right. AP1. So the aircraft's climbing. We've got Mantoga SRS nav. AP1 is engaged. MSA 35, we're climbing up above that. Bring the aircraft back to the climb gate. And what's happened?
So, we've had an engine one fire, it seems. So, we will do the ECAM actions.
Okay. Let's clean up first.
Yep.
Flaps 0, please.
Speed checks, flaps 0.
Right, so we're following the SID at the moment. We've got an engine out, procedure to fly. No OBs, my radios, ECAM actions.
ECAM actions, thrust lever 1.
Thrust lever 1 confirmed.
Confirmed, idle.
Slowly bring that thrust lever back. And we've got man MCT now, which is what we wanted.
Yep. Engine master 1 off.
Okay, that's yours.
So, engine master 1.
Confirm.
Engine master 1 confirmed, off. And then up top, want to put the fire push button.
Yep,
So
that
fire
is
push
confirmed.
button. Confirmed. Push.
Confirmed.
And then we're going to have to discharge the agent after 10 seconds.
Yep.
So you'll see there's a countdown now on the upper recam there. And then when that gets to 0, it'll say agent 1 discharge. Agent 1. Is it what? There you go.
That's
Discharge.
it, discharge. Right. The engine's now secure. I'm going to say stop ECAM. We need to fly the aircraft. So we're above MS. Well, we're climbing almost to MSA. Normally at this point we would accelerate. Can you activate the secondary flight plan for me,
I
please,
can
chap?
indeed. Secondary
I'm
flight
going to
plan
pull heading.
activate sec.
I've got open climb heading, and if you can give me direct to Tinver, please.
I'm going to go bottom one.
So onto one, yeah, that works.
Direct Tinver.
That's
inserted.
it. And we've got now nav to Tinver, and I'm going to level us off at 4,000 feet. I've still got the radios, so Mayday, 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 A-Live 100 kilo, engine fire, right turn direct Tinver to hold, stand by, further intentions. Okay, so we've flown the aircraft, we're navigating somewhere safe, we've told air traffic, attention crew at stations, we've told the cabin crew, now we can continue with the ECAM.
So, ATC notify, which you have done.
Done that.
And then we have Agent 2 discharge.
Okay.
That's Agent 2 discharged. Engine 1 fire, ECAM complete.
Yep, can you clear it on there, because it's not...
Ah, yeah.
Clear it.
There you
Yeah. Marvellous.
And it seems we've had something else happen as well, but
Yep.
this
Okay.
obviously has been a secondary action because the engine takes priority
It takes
in
priority.
the warning
Yeah.
computer.
The ECAM will always prioritise what's the most dangerous thing.
Yep.
And the engine fire is the biggie. It's shut down, it's secure, it's safe, so now we can look at this. So, continue with ECAM.
So we have a smoke aft cargo smoke.
Check.
So we got a bit of smoke apparently in our aft cargo bay. So we'll do our ECAM action. So cabin fans want to come up, which are just above me, and we're going to turn them off. And we now have a little agent as well, so we're going to flip this little red up and hold this down for around about 10 seconds, and it should discharge. When it wants to. It's
When it
always
wants to. That's fine.
And there you go. The agent has now been discharged on that.
Okay, marvellous.
So, when we're on the ground, before we open the cargo doors, the passengers must be off
Yep. Now, why is that still on?
because the passengers haven't been disembarked.
Also, the agent that we fire in there interferes with the smoke sensors. So although the fire may well be out, we're not sure, we won't know until they open the doors.
Yep.
It won't go away, so we need to get on the ground fairly quickly now. So, if you clear smoke,
Smoke is cleared.
that's it, and we can continue with...
The engine 1 shutdown. So engine mode selector is ignition. And if no fuel leak, imbalance monitor. So we'll go to our fuel page. And do you want to talk us through this, Mark?
Yep, so what we're looking at now is we're looking at the fuel that we've used, the total fuel. We add it to that, and it should give us what we took off with. So we've lost the fuel there because we shut the engine down. We've got 1610 there. On top of that, gives us about 6.2, which obviously left.
Yep.
So we made sure there's no leak, and we're not leaking out of the good side. And there'll be a video about that coming soon. So we can, we've monitored that, we'll keep an eye on it, and then we can continue with the ECAM.
Okay, so imbalance has been monitored. And next thing it'll be TCAS mode selected to TA. So we don't get any unnecessary advisories.
Yep.
If buffer max speed 240, we're currently green dot at about 209 knots, so that is fine.
Yep.
Turn that off. And then it'll be the bleed page.
Yep. Well, before we get to that, what's the big one?
The big one is land ASAP.
Yep.
There's two different colours, so you'll have it in orange, which will be sort of an advisory telling you that maybe it's better to get down. But here we have it in red, which is telling us that right now we need to get back straight to our best on that airport, and obviously that is Manchester. Mark is busy filling in the
it all in.
MCDU.
There, that's ready to go now.
That's ready
Happy
to go.
days. Yes, so land ASAP red, we need to get on the ground fairly quickly. That's checked. So now we've got the secondaries, so you work through the secondaries.
So we've got the blades.
Yep.
What's happening here?
Well, we've lost the engine. We switched the bleed off by pressing that engine fire
Yep.
push button. Cuts off the bleed, cuts off the electrics, cuts off the hydraulics, cuts off the fuel. The pack 1 isn't working, but pack 2 is, and it's being fed by the second engine, so that's good.
Happy days.
Yep, so clear air.
So clear air.
We get the electrics.
So electrics, obviously, we've got engine 1 is obviously shut down, so we haven't got any generator. Generator 2 is powering the AC 1 and 2, so with that we will go and start the APU.
Excellent.
So master switch, and then 3 seconds for the start.
Marvellous. So that's running. That will kick in. We'll have 2 generators running. Much better position. Clear elec.
Clear elec. Next is the hydraulics. So we've got the hydraulic. We've got hydraulic fluid, but the pump itself is obviously being shut down because it's driven by engine 1. So what we have is the P2, otherwise the power transfer unit, or for those who have flown in Airbus, the barking dog in the back. And the P2 is now powering the green system, which is giving us 3 hydraulic systems.
Yep. Happy days.
Happy days.
Clear hide.
Clear hide.
So, status is now available.
Happy days.
We will consider now any resets. The engine's no longer
Engine's
with us.
knackered.
Yep, that's it. There's no reset. Expanded checklist, if we had plenty of time and it was a minor fault, we would consider a reset or an expanded checklist. But we're not going to worry about that. So, if you read status.
So, avoid icing conditions. If severe ice... how do I say that? Accretion?
Yeah.
Accretion. Min speed is going to be our VLS plus 10/green dot.
Yep.
There is no icing, as we said. It's a glorious day here in Manchester for once. And if we did, we would then manoeuvre care. Landing, this is procedure reply. We're going to go straight for automatic medium, not messing about. You can't use automatic max on landing, as you can see. It is only for takeoff. You would use that for rejected takeoff. So automatic medium is the best we've got available.
Yep.
So, and then obviously we said about the smoke when we're on the ground. We'll disembark the passengers.
Yep, sounds good to me. Right, so we've got that.
And then our in-up system, so wing anti-ice is in-up, we don't need it. Like we said, glorious day.
Yep.
Cat-free dual is in-up, that's fine. We've got cat-free single. Obviously engine 1 bleed's gone, but that's fine. Engine 2's sorting that stuff out. Pat 1's gone, again engine 2. Cap fan is gone because of the smoke, that's fine. And then cargo heat, after cargo heat and vents is gone, which is fine. And the generator's gone, which is also a non-issue because we have the APU powering that. And the green engine 1 pump again, like we said. The P2 is powering that, so...
Beautiful. Okay, so remove status.
Remove status.
And that is the ECAM actions complete. So now what we do is we would do what we call in the trade a DODA. Some airlines use GRADE. They have all these acronyms. And it stands for Diagnosis, Options, Decide, Assign Tasks and Review. So, I always ask me, mate, the D and the O, so what do you think's happened? So
we've had, on takeoff, we've had an engine 1 fire. And subsequently we have had a cargo smoke fire.
Yep.
So we have lost engine 1 and we potentially could still have a fire in the aft cargo, so we are going to be diverting straight back to Manchester.
We're not hanging around.
No.
Options, we generate options. 3 options: continue, divert, return. We can't continue. We don't really want to divert, do we?
No.
So what do you think the best option is?
We're going to return back to the airport that we took out of, which was Manchester.
That's it. Decide. So the weather's glorious around here. Decision is we're returning to Manchester. If we can't get into Manchester for any reason, we're going to go around and go straight to Liverpool, which is just over there. It's plan A, plan B. Okay?
I think I'll stick with plan A because we want to go to Liverpool.
Exactly. But anyway. So I'm now going to assign tasks. I'm going to get you to fly the aircraft, but before I hand over, I'm going to give you a proper handover. So we're in speed. We've got alt and nav. The aircraft is in the hole. It's circling at Tinver. The aircraft's safe. The MSA is well below us. You have control.
I have control.
And at this point, I've set the box up. We need to brief it, but I would say, senior cabin crew member to the flight deck, please. They would come in. We would give them what's called a NITS briefing. We'd start off with the time check. It would be NITS.
Senior cabin crew here.
Here he is. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Is everyone all right?
They would appear so. Brown Bill's a bit scared.
I bet he is.
He's all right.
At the back of the cabin, was there any smoke or any heat that you could feel near the floor? Did it all feel all right?
It feels all right.
Okay, that's good. That's a good indication we're not on fire at the back. I'm going to give you a NITS briefing.
Okay.
The time is 1709. The nature of the emergency is we have had an engine fire. It's not a major problem. The other engine is working fine. The intention is we're going to return to Manchester. The time is you have 12 minutes and it will be for an emergency landing. And the cabin manager would now normally read that back to me.
Okay.
Go on then.
Got 12 minutes for an emergency landing going back to Manchester due to a suspected fire.
He's good. He's good. That's that. I will now
Can I get you a pork pie?
Oh, yeah, nice one with
rice,
apple
please.
and pineapple on top. I'll now do a PA to the passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening from the flight leader captain speaking. As you may be aware, we have had a technical issue with one of our engines. The engine is secure, the aircraft is flying safely, and there is no major worry. We are unable to continue to Belfast at the moment. We are returning to Manchester. We expect you to have you on the ground in the next 12 minutes or so. Please follow the instructions of your cabin crew, and once we're on the ground, I will come out and talk to you in person. Thank you for your understanding.
Right, next thing is we're going to have to decide on how we're going to get back to Manchester.
That's it, so it's brief time. We now brief the arrival. It will be, the weather's fine, the aircraft is not. It will be a single engine ILS onto 23 right at Manchester. How I'm going to fly it, I'm going to wiggle that and move that. We'll have flaps 1 on base. Before the glide, we'll have flaps 2. If I haven't asked for the gear by 5 miles, then please remind me because it means I forgot.
Roger.
Okay, we're going to go config full, flap 3 landing, auto brake median, idle reverse unless I need any more. It's a nice long runway. Big threats are the engine's out. When we lose an engine, when an engine fails, one engine's driving, one engine isn't. The aircraft swings into the dead engine. So the aircraft will be a bit wobbly, it's a bit out of balance. So I have to use the rudder pedals here to fly the aircraft. John's going to monitor me. He's going to tell me if I'm doing anything wrong, which no doubt I will be. And we're going to go in and land. If we go around, call will be go around flap. I will push the thrust levers fully forward, apply the right amount of rudder to keep the aircraft going straight. We'll climb up, trim the aircraft again, get the autopilot in, have a think while we've gone round, come round and have another go.
Question in the chat, will we be applying left or right rudder with the... oh, we got engine 1 out, have we?
Engine 1 out.
Yeah, it will be right rudder. We have down here lots of right units of trim. And on final approach, what I'm expecting to see is my N1 will be 70%. I will have 7 units of trim, and my vertical speed will be 700 feet per minute, which is what you normally get on a nice. All the 7s, it makes it nice and easy. Are you happy?
I am very happy.
Right, I'm going to take control back then. We've got speed out nav, 4,000 feet, and I'm going to select heading. And normally we'd be talking to air traffic control about this. What I will do though, to make life easy, I'll descend down to 3,000. I've got thrust dial open descent heading 3,000. That's below our safety altitude.
A lot of love coming in from the chat, guys. Really interesting. Thanks everyone getting involved. I know there's a lot going on, but we will be explaining as much as we can as we go through this. Quite a hectic show today, but yeah, we're keeping an eye on the chat, and we'll catch up with any support very shortly. Thanks, guys.
Right, guys, just to let you know.
Go for
wait for my camera to come on. Just to let you know, normally in an emergency situation, the captain. Just give you all of that.
I've got a bit of an announcement as well.
Oh,
if
okay.
I can chuck a quick bing bong in, can I?
Cool.
Oh, the
synchronization as well.
Yeah, we're the best.
News just in, folks, from the Flight Sim Centre. If you type, or the mods have been typing !sim in the chat, that's giving you a link to this simulator. It's based at Barton here at where Airliners Live HQ is based as well. The first 5 people to book 1 hour on the simulator will be getting 90 minutes instead of 1 hour. So make sure you get booking. The first 5 bookings will be getting 90 minutes instead of 1 hour, guys.
Fantastic.
So you can use the links in the chat from Nightbot. It says come and fly the sim yourself. Use code SIM20 for 20% off your booking enquiries. Use this link. So there you go, guys.
Get that link spammed in, ladies and gents.
A live offer coming into the flight deck.
Get it.
Champion. Lovely stuff. Well, here we are.
So, normally on this, the captain would always do the emergency landing. But this is a Flight Sim show with a legend that is jonFezza. So, he's going to do the landing. This was supposed to be his segment. So, I'm handing control over to John. I'm going to sit back and watch. John, you've got speed, glide slope, star lock. And you have control, mate.
I have control.
Let me just clear all of this up for you.
So we're 8.5 miles from Manchester to free right.
You've got flap 2, no gear yet.
No, we have gear.
Oh, we do have gear.
Yeah, the chat have been going crazy that the gear never got put up, but I just thought I'll leave that one out.
Okay,
So-
well.
They were like, "You've not put your gear up."
Yeah.
Not put your. I was like, "Come on, sim pilots, give them a break, will you?"
Yeah. We were expecting something else to happen
We've
earlier
been in
on.
this sim since 9 o'clock this morning.
I've
There
been
we
up
are.
since 3:30. Right. You have control, chap. All yours.
I have control. 7 miles. Well, you know what, chap?
Good lad. Ready altimeter alive.
Gear down, please.
Gear
Down.
down.
You happy now, chat?
Yeah, yeah,
God
chap.
bless her, that.
Okay, 6 miles.
Yep.
We are just above 140 knots. Runway is in sight. See the beautiful Manchester.
Where?
What the Manchester for?
Yeah.
The beautiful part.
That's it. There's an A Sunderland son.
Nah, that's an Sunderland, isn't it? So there you go, ladies and gents. Links are in the chat. First 5 people get 90 minutes for free
250
instead of
likes.
60 minutes.
Thank you, everyone.
And use code SIM20. And again, this is based at the Manchester the Airlines Live HQ. So with that, I will take a flap 3, please.
Speed checked flaps 3.
And my aircraft.
Your aircraft.
And flaps 4, please.
Speed check flaps full.
Really get that yaw, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for those of
And
you in the chat,
landing
you can
checks,
see
please.
Land checks cabin.
Secured.
Auto thrust.
Is speed.
Go around out.
3,500
And ICA memo.
is landing no blue.
Landing checks complete.
Thank you very much.
Made airline 100 kilo. We are on a 2.5 mile final. Airline 100 kilo. Cleared to land. Wind 230 at 5 knots. Look at the
Here we go.
concentration.
I am in. Oh, here.
Look at the concentration.
I
in
am
his
not ready
face.
for this yaw, but there we go. So there we go. 700 feet a minute. 74%.
Through 500 stable.
100 above, 300. Minimum,
Continue.
glide slope,
Disregard.
glide slope,
2 whites, 2 reds. You're on profile.
40, 30, 20, retard,
Look at that butter, butter, butter. Legend spoilers. Reverse green decel. $70 knots.
Only jonFezza can grease it with one engine.
Ah, he's some boy, isn't he, eh?
Ladies and gents, welcome to Manchester. We will stop on the runway as the fire service will be coming to attend. So bricks.
Superb.
Pan bricks
Sort
set.
of man. Well,
There we go.
they are peeps. What do you think of that, eh? The legend himself.
That is one failure of many that
That
we
is
are
one
going to be
that
doing
we
this
planned,
evening.
yes,
So
yeah.
don't go anywhere, ladies and gents.
Yep.
Just because you've seen me land, I have an Airbus captain next to me who needs to see if he can do any better.
Yeah, probably not.
Right.
Right.
After takeoff.
Yep.
After landing it.
So that was the basic engine failure after takeoff. We came back round, set it up, briefed it, talked to the necessary people, set the aircraft up for landing, and John did, as you can see, a typical fantastic job of getting it on the ground, honestly. Right then, shall we try what we were originally going to do?
Which was, yes.
Yes.
Whilst you're setting that up, folks, we'll cut away ever so slightly just while we get the sim set back up for the next landing, folks, and we'll try and catch up with some of your support. However, I'm saying that, and
They're getting a bing bong anyway, there you are.
I don't think it's I don't think it's refreshing on Streamlabs standard as usual. Let me give it a quick refresh on here, guys. 1 second.
100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
No, Streamlabs
You
is
just
not,
get into a habit of saying it, don't you?
You do, yeah.
is not playing ball, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But stand by for that. But we can read some names out in the chat anyway. Here we are. Got a little station. We got a little camera switcher going on here. See you guys in the chat. Audio mixer just down here as well. But yeah, we've got loads of you in the chat loving the show. Don't forget, we're live from the Manchester Flight Sim Centre here at City Airport. Airliners Live HQ is just next door. We can hear the guys flying this all the time. So if you do come and book in, give us a knock on the old office. We'll come out and say a quick hello to you as well. Big shout out to all the Twitch crew tuning in. Great to see you, Hinchy. Thanks for tuning in. Lazy Mad Moonburbs. Who've we got? Cool Borders, Benchy, Dazzle. All you guys tuning in on YouTube as well. Terry Edwards, Andy H, Jake. Let's scroll right down to the other end, shall we, as well. We've got Remy, Loopy, thanks very much, Mod's doing a great job this evening as well. Susie B, some bloke who travels a lot, saying cheers. Everyone just cracked a beer. Unfortunately, first time for John, he can't have a beer because he's got a very expensive simulator in front of him. But I'm sure we'll get him one sorted after the show, guys.
Oh, I might need two.
And
you've got two in your fridge that's still in there, mate.
There, mate, we'll look after you. And yeah, a lot of people saying they're absolutely loving today's show.
Champion.
So, I know it's quite hectic, guys, but we will be doing our best to let you know what's going on. Unfortunately, our list for all the support that's coming through is not refreshing, and our chat expires. So for anyone who has sent in a donation, I just want to say a massive thanks to all of you. Massive bing bong for you as well. Rest assured, you know on Airliners Live we appreciate all the support. I'm sorry I can't read you out individually at the moment. We'll try and get that fixed during the next flight. And yeah, as I say, let us know in the chat if you are loving it.
Yeah, I'm just having a read now. People are loving it. Dan Harris, I love watching this.
Yep.
Avgeek Britain, please do more of these. We would love to, mate. We would love to.
And brand new member to the channel as well, Jamie Wood. Returning member Jamie Wood, coming back to Premium Economy. And some bloke who travels a lot, poking his head around the flight deck door, dropping 5 Airliners Live gifty memberships to the community as well. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. And I would say for now, ladies and gents, if you do want to come and book this fantastic simulator, Nightbot is posting links in the chat. All you need to do is look out for those links, and you can come and get yourself booked. And as we say, the first 5 people booking a go on this flight simulator for 1 hour will get 90 minutes instead of the 60.
And we will have a massive bing bong for Mr. Sunblock who travels a lot, dropping 5 Airliners Live memberships. What a legend. Had some massive support from you this weekend, mate, and thank you for your support yesterday on the Super Sunday show. If you missed it, I was on the Super Sunday show yesterday, so there we go.
And Willow says on Twitch, this is amazing, but I'm equally amazed at how calm it all was for an engine failure. What would you say about that, Mark?
It's a non-event. It's quite... we train for every 6 months in simulator. We do lots of these, and to be honest, it's one of the less likely failures you're going to get. I've never had one. I've been flying now 28 years. I've never had one. A friend of mine who flew years ago, he had 5, and it was always that number 1 engine. But the engines were less reliable back then. Now they're super reliable. It's just not really something we brief for, we're trained for, but it's not something that happens very often. I don't know anyone who's flying at the moment who's had one like that off the top of my head. But we're trained that there's no rush. People seem to think, I've got to act really quickly. There's no rush. Everything can work in slow time.
And one message coming in from Carl in the chat saying, can we do the same with a Boeing sim? Well, yes, we can in the near future. So more to come on that as and when we can. But yes is the answer to that. And a little bit of support coming in as well. Carl Crawford, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, saying absolutely brilliant, loving the stream. And Captain Stubbing, thank you very much. Welcome to Premium Economy, brand new VIP. Cheers, dude.
Why is it put us at Liverpool?
And Susie B, thank you very much for the 179 super chat as well. Really appreciate that. Cheers, Susie. And Zach has just subscribed to the channel as well. So welcome to you, Zach. doing our very best to keep on top of things. But over to Mark's camera. Question coming in the Twitch chat saying, what is a common failure then, Mark? If you have any. Oh, sorry, mate. I've muted you while you were having a chat. Sorry about that.
Terrible.
We don't. We just... It's such a reliable aircraft. I can't think of anything I've had in all the... I've been on the Airbus 12 years. I had a thing called a yaw damper fail once on a 737. I had a hydraulic fluid on a 757 get a little bit low. And that's it. The most nerve-wracking thing I've had it flying the Airbus is... If you think back to when the engine failed and we had all the bells going off and the red lights... I've had that twice when someone's decided they want to have a quick cigarette in the toilet or a vape. And you're at 30-odd thousand feet. I remember once we were going into Olbia and all of a sudden...
oh, that's me on the camera. I just zoomed right.
That goes off. So you're hearing that in flight and that focuses the mind. And you have a look and it just says lav forward smoke. The cabin crew on it, guy comes out, he's got loads of smoke round him. Casper the friendly ghost is sitting on his shoulder. And we have a little bit of a swear, wipe our brows, and land, and then he gets arrested. But yeah, I've had no failures. This aircraft is so reliable. And every 6 months we're in the simulator. I'm about to go in next month. 3 days in the simulator. They throw all sorts at us. And what the airlines do, the good airlines, look at what is currently the big deal in aviation, and they train us not to do it.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
Jeanette McKenzie, thank you so much for the £20 super chat saying, loving every minute of this. Thank you very much, Jeanette. Quick check-in with Fez. How are we looking, mate? Are we good?
We are looking good. Susie B with a 179. Is it too late for the pants swap outfit? I mean, I'll need more than £1.79. And a few Westerns. Captain Stubbing, welcome to Bing Bong Premium Economy. Thank you very much, buddy, for your support to the channel. Appreciate that very much. And Mr. Carl Crawford with the... I'll press the F1 this time for you, mate. There you go. £2 super chat. Absolutely brilliant. Loving every min. Right.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. And as I say, if you have got any questions in the chat, please put them in. We'll try and interject at a time that's convenient to do so. And the guys, like I say, are just explaining as much as they can to you guys. And if you do want us to go into any more detail, feel free to let us know in the chat as well. Big shout out to Mr. Andy B, who's on the camera, on this rear cam. He's zooming in, zooming out, doing all the good stuff there. Proper setup today. We've got... this is the first time we've done anything like this. But yeah, we've got the wide cam. I'm down here in a little studio set up by the door. Great to see you guys. We got a side cam there for Mark and Mr. Fez as well. So we're not doing things by half here on Airliners Live. And the last bit of support to read out. It is pretty crazy, guys. Mr. Kevin D with the 10 gifted Airliners Live.
I mean, that's a double one there for Mr. Kev.
And 6 Day Blue with a £10 super chat saying, great show. A pint or two for Fezza and the mods. There we go. Right, guys, shall we jump into the next scenario?
We will.
We've done that one.
Cheers, Kevin, and 6 Day Blue.
Are you able to hit that fail anywhere after sort of 7 minutes?
Right. Ready to go.
Right, we're going to have another go. Let's see if we can get it going. So, happy?
Right, I am happy.
Right, pub breaks off. Cheers.
And don't forget, if you want to come and book this in
Takeoff
in the chat, guys.
Kick them orders.
And unfortunately, on today's show, we will not be able to.
Let's just stop a minute.
Unfortunately, on today's show, we will not be getting to our destination. We believe.
I might have to.
Yeah.
That one. Hey!
There it is.
Are we good?
I was sitting there thinking, what's going on there?
This is why you have a first officer, isn't it?
One as good as you. Looking after me. Too busy gassing, we didn't restart the engine.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, the joys of life, Telly. Right, let's try that one again.
Well spotted, Fezza, thank you. We're looking a bit better.
That's a bit more better. Yeah. We've got 2 engines now.
Makes a change.
Sure that'll change. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
And flights 56, SRS runway.
Thrust set.
Stop.
Reverse is green.
Correct. Reverse is stowed. Fart brake. Attention crew at stations. Brake fans on. Big deep breath. So, what's happened?
Right, we've had an aft cargo smoke yet again. Who's been leaving the vape in the old aft
Not
cargo?
good. Right, okay. Aircraft stopped. Parking brakes stopped. Cabin crew alerted. Aircraft is safe. My radio's ECAM actions.
ECAM actions. So aft cargo smoke. Cabin fans off. Cabin fans off. Agent discharge. Flip the red. Push the button in.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Airline 100 kilo. We have back cargo smoke indication. Send fire services. Stand by further. We may be evacuating.
The agent never likes to discharge.
It doesn't, does
there
it?
we go.
There you are.
Holiday.
Right.
Takes forever.
Okay.
So, before we open the cargo doors, we must disembark the passengers.
Disembark. Right, so we'll stop it there. I'll go to my camera. Hi, camera. So what we've done there, we've done what's called a rejected takeoff. Some of these ECAM warnings are inhibited on the takeoff roll because they're irrelevant. This obviously isn't. We don't want to get airborne with that. So we've stopped on the runway. John's run the checklist. Like we said on the last one, we don't know if that fire's out. The fire service is going to now come out with a heat camera, and they're going to heat camera the back of the aircraft. If they think there's a fire on board, John will be immediately going into the emergency evacuation checklist. Slides will be blown, everyone will be running away. If the fire services say there's no heat and we're satisfied there's no heat, I will do a PA to the passengers. I will tell the cabin crew normal operations, and we will probably taxi off and go back to stand and find out why we've had it. These warnings do go off occasionally and they're normally spurious. So that's the rejected takeoff. That's what we wanted to do at the beginning, but I think I pressed the wrong button.
Susie's saying, is that like an emergency stop in the car? And if we can also just...
Yeah.
What is a rejected takeoff? What happens with the aircraft? How do we stop the aircraft as quickly as possible?
Right, so if we go to that camera, what I said in the brief is, with an emergency landing, these are the thrust levers, that's my engine, that's the engine on John's side. The engines are up in a takeoff power setting, and I'm going to close the thrust levers. There's paddles that I'm going to lift, and I'm going to put those back. This opens up doors on the engines where the airflow reverses and it slows us down. The automatic braking system will kick in if we're going above 72 knots. If not, below that, I'll have to manually brake the aircraft. I will then stop the aircraft, put the engines back to idle and get rid of the reversers. We'll set the parking brake so the aircraft is now safe. Attention crew at stations is a call we give to the cabin crew. They then realise they know there's a problem because we've stopped, but they know that we're on top of it and not to call us, and will wait for further instructions. And I put the brake fans on every time because if you stop at high speed, there's an awful lot of energy that goes into the brakes. This was a slow speed one, but the brakes can get really hot, and you've got fusible pins inside. If they get really, really hot, then the pins will pop and the tyres will deflate to save any further damage to the aircraft. So we've stopped, the aircraft's safe, we'd wait for the fire brigade to come out, we'd talk to them, and we'd decide what we're going to do from them. We really don't want to evacuate on a runway. It's a big deal and people will get injured going down those slides.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Dylan White asking, what plane are you on? We are in the Manchester Flight Sim Centre's Airbus A320 full simulator, and links will be in the chat. You can use Sim20 at checkout and get 20% off your experience. And of course, if you are a massive fan of Airliners Live, the sim is based here in the Airliners Live office. So there we are. You may get to meet the boys if they're in the office. So Happy days. What more could you want? Whereabouts is this place? We are at Barton Aerodrome, or City Airport, I believe it's called now.
Cool.
So there we go. 2 fillies in the bag. And fancy another one?
Let's do it. You
Let's
happy
do it.
resetting?
Yeah, we will do a little reset,
Yeah.
and then we will get underway.
I'll let you play with it, because I don't know.
Just a camera note, John, as well. Mark's camera is by far the cleanest because it's the most expensive. So we'll use that as your main B cam if we can.
Peeps.
Just so I don't have to go to your noisy one just as often. No, not at all. No, just use that as your main cam if you can. Cheers, boys.
Yep. So John is now going to take us to Belfast. Wrong Runway Fezza is now got to land at Belfast.
Wrong airport, Fezza.
Wrong airport Fezza. Yeah.
And maybe it was wrong runway as well.
Well,
wasn't it?
yeah. So we're going to see where he ends up. This should be an interesting one.
My bet is back at Manchester.
You
But
reckon?
We will see.
Oh, I don't know.
I might go to Newcastle. Could we?
Could
Me
do.
and Mark are Northerners, aren't we?
We are.
So
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Newcastle's
far
all-
to go home.
No.
Yeah. I'll give you a lift back to Mackham Land as well.
Cheers.
And just while we wait for the sim to restart, a big massive thanks to everyone tuning in tonight. I hope you're enjoying this simulator session live from the Manchester Flight Sim Centre. It is a sponsored stream. They are providing the sim for us this evening. A very massive thanks to Mike and Andy for looking after us today. And as I say, there is a special offer going on at the moment. If you book an hour in this sim, the first 5 people who make their bookings will get 90 minutes. So use the Nightbot link in the chat to make your booking, guys. And tonight's Flight Sim show is full of failures. John's joined today by our resident Airbus captain Mark, who's flying for a major Airbus airline. And it's interesting to get him to take John, who's got, to be fair, a huge amount of knowledge in the sim through some emergency procedures. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. And if you have got any questions or any queries, you want us to explain anything in a little bit more detail, we are monitoring the chat. And we will ask your questions direct to the flight deck, guys. In between each of these scenarios, we do have to reset the sim back to a neutral position just to get us ready for the next one. And that'll just give us a bit of time just to catch up with you guys in the chat.
We won't go that way, going to Belfast. What do you reckon? 20? 22? So I'm going to go to 24.
And we're just on a quick scroll through the chat. So yes, as explained, this simulator is at City Airport, which is Barton, just around the Eccles area. So if you can get to Manchester Airport, then quite easily you can get to here. Mrs. Airline is live in the chat. Hello.
No, Mrs. Airline is live.
And Carl's saying, wow, totally loving this in-depth sim stream. Yeah, it's something different, isn't it? It's every button, everything works in this sim. It's absolutely fantastic. Literally everything works, and you can come in here and just do training, guys, which is absolutely fantastic. How are we looking, gentlemen?
Right, I think I'm pretty good.
Jake, you got nothing to worry about. That smoke in the cargo hold's all gone. Absolutely all gone.
We've opened the window for a little while, have we?
Just a little bit.
Jane Mackenzie wants to become a pilot. She's not very good at maths and she didn't take physics. Well, if it's any help, I got a C in maths at GCSE and a D in physics. The only maths really you need to do for flying to actually be an airline pilot is your 3 times table. When we descend the aircraft, we take our height. If we're at 35,000 feet, we take 35. We times it by 3. That gives us 105. That's how many miles we need to descend and land the aircraft. And we stick 10 on to slow down. 30,000 feet, we need 90 miles. Plus 10 to slow down, we need 100 miles. We're calculating that all the way. That's pretty much the limit of your maths. You'll need a bit more to pass the written exams, but the schools are very good. They'll get you through it.
Amazing.
But actually, while we're here, yeah, I mean, that's dialed in at 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet, I'm going to be 9 miles out. And that is it.
There you go, that's all you need to know. And a question you can quite easily say you don't want to answer, Mark, but it's been asked a few times. How many hours roughly have you clocked up flying?
Over 10,000.
There you go.
I haven't looked recently. It's done on an app and it downloads all my flights and sorts all out for me. I would have thought over 11,000, but yeah. Somewhere around that.
Somewhere around that.
Somewhere around
Amazing.
that.
There you go. Hope that answers your question.
'Cause
And
I'm old.
we will crack straight back on
Yeah.
with the next scenario, guys.
Do you like Susie B's comment, grass cutting Fezza?
So in Microsoft Flight Sim, right? For some reason they've got this little thing. So if you hold down your mouse, you got your mouse, and if you hold down your right mouse button,
Yeah.
it freezes your flight controls.
Oh, that's useful.
It is. So I'll be panning, I'll be taxiing, and I'll pan the view. It frees me flight controls, and I end up on the grass.
Ah, is that where that comes
That's
from?
where that comes
I do
from.
wonder why it's grass cut the Fezza. Oh, well, that's...
G more. Fezza on Fez on the G more.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Happy
it.
days.
You happy?
I am. Give me a second though.
I love watching Fezza, set up his failures that he's about to get. It's like turkeys voting for Christmas. Yeah, it's...
No man.
All these failures are obviously pre-programmed just because this is a training simulator. But of course, the actions and the way they handle these failures are completely as true to life as we can make it. But I think it makes for an interesting stream chat. Quick yay or nay in the chat if you're enjoying this one. I know we usually do our sim shows, don't we, on Mondays? But yeah, something a bit special. And I'm sure John's having a great time as well.
I am
all them
indeed, mate.
buttons.
Oh mate, I don't know about anyone else, but every time you get something new, you always press all the buttons, or you go in your flight sim, you're like, okay, look, I've got all these buttons, okay. So it's great. I like it. It's nice to be physically in an A320 sim and being able to actually reach up and press the buttons. And for those asking, I don't know if there is, I can actually touch the rudder pedals, so happy days. Just going to do it. No, okay, we're good.
We're all good.
That's good.
Yeah.
What was the one?
Cheers, Gary,
3.
saying brilliant. Cheers, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
Fez is in heaven, says Ludmilla.
Oh, it's there. Yeah.
He's devastated because he's got to fly back tomorrow. He'd rather be in here.
Mark
Oh, mate,
should program
it's
a failure and let Fezza figure out what's going on.
That's about what we're going to do now.
Yeah.
Fezza's doing the flying now, and I'm just going to sit here and be the gear monkey.
What are we going to do then, shall we?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, happy?
I am.
Right.
So flap 1, V speed, so V1, 142, rotation 142, V2, 144 flexing.
How gross.
56, climb nav blue, and I think we'll set up blue. 5.
5 Rio Grande for the Eclad.
Happy days,
There
right.
you go, sir. Right.
Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Right, take off. Start clock.
Notice he's setting the thrust at 50%. That's to let both engines stabilise, and then he's going to go round to the takeoff power.
Manflex 56 SRS runway autothrust blue.
Checked.
Oh, sorry, no autothrust blue is there? You let me off.
Yeah. Thrust it.
Checked.
I'm watching the airspeed building on the instruments, and I'm watching the engine gauges. I'm making sure there's nothing untoward there. 100 knots.
Checked.
That's the cut-off point between the low speed and the high speed reject. So now we're only going to stop for something really big. V1, rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Nav.
Checked. So Fezza's climbing the plane away nicely. At 1,250 feet, it's going to demand he puts the nose down because we need to accelerate the aircraft now and clean up the flaps, take the flaps away.
So there you go. First climb. Climb.
Checked.
Just following the standard instrument departure.
Yep.
So now, as you can see on the private flight display, it's now indicating up 250 knots. So that is our maximum speed below 10,000 feet. So I'm just going to pitch the nose for that and follow the set. Michael B saying, "Ah man, this is brilliant." Well, we do try.
And just a message coming in from V saying, can a complete novice do flight sim? Absolutely. If you come down to the Manchester Flight Sim Centre, they will take you right through. They'll give you a familiarisation session at the beginning for about 10 minutes, showing you all the instruments, and then they'll take you for a quick flight. So yeah, anyone can come down. You don't have to have any experience whatsoever.
And it's a good sim. It's representative of the aircraft. The gauges are all correct. The way the systems work. 700 go.
Right, I'm going to recycle up to our cruising altitude of flight level 240, and we're going to dodge all the restrictions, and I'm going to pull that up and climb.
Checked.
24,000 blue.
Checked.
And flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Passing standards, passing transition, so we'll set standards. Passing flight level 5-2.
Check.
Checks 1, 2, and 3 times.
Standards cross checked.
I'm just enjoying hand flying the sim. Pretty nice.
I thought the autopilot was in.
And then he's left. It's so nice having these projectors because you can actually look down there and see the scenery.
Yeah.
Look at me and Mark in sync there, changing our range. Oh, yeah.
It's because I want to see where Liverpool is. Make sure you miss it. Fly around it and don't wake the people up. Because we like good neighbours.
Isn't this usually about the time Fezza puts the autopilot on and goes for a wee and a beer? Says Jake in the chat.
Right, autopilot 2, bye. There you go, AP2.
You haven't started singing yet. What's going on?
I know.
I feel a bit cheated. I was looking forward to a bit of karaoke today.
Wow.
Fezza-okie.
Called Collective, where's the simulator? City, state, country. This is its city airport in Manchester in the northwest of England.
Yeah, it's called Manchester Flight Sim Centre. If you want to come down and get booked in, guys, links are in the chat. Look for Nightbot's link.
Oh, yes.
John O'Donnell's getting a ding-dong for that £10 there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Well done, Fezza. Doing that alongside a real captain must be a little nerve-wracking. I don't think...
I'm terrified.
There is... I don't think there's any other person I would rather be sat next to than our Mark here, so he's very good. So.
I'm very honest.
Stick some Oasis on, he will soon be chanting.
Glad you're enjoying the show, Joanna. This is the first sim show she's tuned into. It's brilliant, and she's surprised how Fezza doesn't half know his stuff.
Well, I mean, nothing come back this guy, but we're cruising up now. We're just passing flight level 117. It's nice and smooth.
So it's a relatively calm flight, this, isn't it?
We'll turn the seatbelt signs off.
Good man.
Make sure they're in order. It's a little bit warm in the cockpit, so I'm just going to knock that down a little bit there.
You a bit George Michael, are you, son?
Real Captain Fezza. No, I'm just the first officer, unfortunately.
Captain Fezza today.
And 50 points in the chat. Where's that airport, guys?
Off your
50
right.
points in the chat.
Oh, yeah, that one down there.
Ferry across the Mersey.
Hey up, Space. Great to see you in the chat, mate. Hope you're doing well,
Mr.
dude.
Space Nano with a pro pilot. Yes, Mark is with a pro pilot indeed.
Mr. Graham Langman says, liking the t-shirt, Fezza, looking fresh.
What about the old Caparoonies as well?
Caparoonie. He's got you on the 71 or 72 inch screen. He's sent me a picture with your face on it, saying it's a bit big on this screen.
I'm glad I'm big somewhere.
It's lucky a handsome devil, isn't it, eh?
So what would usually be happening around this time in the flight then?
At the moment, on the Belfast, once you pass flight level 100, we'd have airport selected on our maps so we could see where our nearest airport is. The secondary flight plan would be copied to make it the same as the primary, and then what I'd do at some point is I'd enter the next best arrival into Belfast. We're set up for the ILS onto runway 25, and on the secondary I'd put in the VOR. So if the ILS drops off, we just use the secondary flight plan, we can continue and land, it doesn't delay us. I'd be setting up the radio nav page, which is there, and I'd be putting in the Belfast VOR and the course if we had to make that approach. There's the RadNav page. This is our McDo, controls most of the aircraft. We have our performance page there. We'd be putting in here our weather, pressure, temperature, the wind, and also our minima, the lowest point we can go. If we can't see the runway, we have to go back up. So we would program this up. We'd select an auto brake setting sufficient for whatever Fezza sees, thinks is necessary. It's a nice long runway at Belfast.
Runway 25 or 7, yeah, so auto brake low, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you could even consider a flat 3 landing because it's a nice long, save a bit of fuel.
Then you get off at the 1634, don't you?
Yep, that's it, and come back. Although the taxiway off of there is closed at the moment, so they want you to make Bravo. So when I went in the other day, it's auto brake medium, full reverse. But yeah, we'd set the computer up. We'd go into here as well, and on the actual aircraft, we can print off weather out of here. Luckily, because we're in the simulator.
We can even do it in here. So we can go to the ATSU.
Oh, of course, yes.
And we can go EOC, and we can go to the requests.
Right.
Weather request. So we will get Belfast, which is, I can't remember Belfast off the top of my head. EGAA. I'm flying into it tomorrow in the real world, I should know. Echo Golf, Alpha Alpha, and then we can send that off. I flew into Belfast about 20 times in the last 2 months. I should really know this, but never mind. Then we get the little message pop up there. We'll click the message. Belfast is
that. For the purposes of this exercise, Manchester's nice. Belfast's thick fog. Dublin's thick fog. Glasgow is poor. Oh dear me.
Trouble.
Right, Fezza, something's happening, mate.
I haven't pressed anything.
I haven't pressed anything. Master caution, we have hydraulic green, reservoir low level, and that's confirmed by the level gauge there. The fluid has leaked out, the pump's showing low pressure, the PTU is trying to run but it won't because there's nothing to run. We've lost the entire green hydraulic system fluid.
Start ECAM action.
Right then, so hydraulic green, reservoir low level, PTU off. This is quite important, we need to get this off quickly. So hydraulics, and we follow it along. PTU, press that off because we don't want that overheating and knocking out the yellow system. Green engine 1 pump off. Hydraulics, green engine 1 pump off. Nice and slow, there's no rush. So we have reservoir low level, green engine 1 pump low pressure, green system low pressure.
And what are the hydraulics primarily used for in this plane?
The hydraulics power the flight controls. They move the flight controls on the wings, the tail and the rudder. They supply our brakes. They put the gear up and down. They use the nose wheel steering. And they also move the slats and the flaps. Easy way to remember it. Green is the heavy loaded one. It has the gear, green for gear. It has slats and flaps, slats, flaps, nose wheel steering.
And it's split across 3 systems to add redundancies in case there's failures. So if you lose hydraulic pressure, the whole aircraft doesn't just stop working, it only loses a little bit.
That's it. It will fly on one system quite happily. So we've lost one system. We still have 2 systems remaining. They're looking tickety-boo at the moment. But we do have implications because of this. So, finish the ECAM. Fuel consumption increased. FMS predictions unreliable.
So we'll have a look now of fuel pred. That's saying we would apparently have 3.9, but it is unreliable.
It's unreliable. So
ignore that.
Clear hydraulics.
Clear hydraulics.
Okay. And we've got secondaries available.
Start secondary.
Right, we've got wheel. We've lost spoilers 1 and 5, but we've still got 2, 3 and 4. Slight stopping issue. We've lost the auto brakes and the normal brakes. We have the alternate brakes and accumulator pressure to stop us. So we've got another 2 braking systems. Clear wheel.
Clear wheel.
Flight controls. We've lost spoilers 1 and 5. Like I said, we've still got 2, 3 and 4. What's really clever about this Airbus is it shows you in amber the systems you've lost. So green and blue power the left aileron, we've still got the blue. Green, blue and yellow power the rudder, we've still got blue and yellow. Left elevator, we've lost the green, we've still got the blue. We've lost the green on the pitch trim, still got the yellow. Green, blue, we've lost the green, we've still got the blue. So it shows you what actually you've lost, and it shows you what you've still got, which is the bit you're really interested in.
And just to explain to people in the chat, The list of things that you're working through, guys, at the moment is a list that's given to you by the Airbus systems to fault find and potentially fix or at least make the fault safe.
Yeah, the Airbus will tell you, I'm not well, I need this to make me well again, or to make me fly nicely. So we've got to run through this. Now, Fezza's got a little problem here, because the weather's not very nice in Belfast, is it?
No, it is not.
It's not. So he's going to have to make a decision in a minute as the captain, but we're going to finish this off. So, clear flight controls?
Clear flight controls.
We now get the status.
So, our fuel consumption is increased, which we knew. Landing gear, we're going to have to use a gravity extension. We unfortunately don't have one, but...
Yeah, but we will make it work. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
We will make it work. It will work.
So the landing gears on the Airbus, guys, if they do lose that hydraulic system, they can come down just under the sheer weight.
Gets going back.
They can come down under the sheer weight of the wheels themselves. So if you do lose that system, don't worry. It will come down by itself.
And this failure here we've given young Fezza here is one that we give our wannabe captains. It's a tricky one. It's not a major problem, but when you gravity extend the gear with a green hydraulic failure, you can't get the gear back up. So when the gear's down, you're burning lots more fuel. 3 times what you would normally use. So if we were going to divert, say, from Manchester to Liverpool, and it would normally take a tonne, today with the gear stuck down, it's going to take 3 tonnes. And we've only got 4. So Fezza's going to have a little think whether he really wants to go to Belfast in thick fog. So yeah, fuel consumption degree, landing gear you've talked about, alternate yellow braking with anti-skid, we know about that, FMS prediction we talked about. Slats and flaps are slow. The slats and flaps have a T-shaped motor. You've got green going in one and yellow going in the other, and it turns. And it moves a big screw that pushes the slats out. With one side shut off, it's only being turned by one side, so they move at half speed. It's just something to bear in mind when you're configuring.
Yeah. You'd obviously want to configure the flaps a little bit earlier.
Yeah, nice and early. Yep. So we've got the in-op systems, green hydraulic, we've still got the blue and the yellow. Spoilers 1 and 5, we've already got 2, 3 and 4. Cat 3 dual, we've got Cat 3 single, so we can still auto land. We've lost normal brakes, so it would be manual braking. We've lost auto brakes, manual braking. There's the nice one, landing gear retract. Once those wheels are down, once you dangle them dumb lops, they're staying down.
They ain't coming back up, boy.
You've lost reversal 1, you've got a slight stopping issue. Yep. Again, with the spoilers, it's a slight stopping issue. Green engine 1 pump, we know. Yaw damper 1, we've still got yaw damper 2.
Yep.
So now young Fezza has a bit of a decision. We'd normally run the DODA. We'd go diagnosis, what's happened, we've lost the green, options. Well, let's generate some options. So I showed you the weather. Manchester's glorious. Belfast thick fog, Dublin's thick fog, Glasgow's not very nice. Where do you think we should go?
I think the chat want to go Belfast.
Do they?
But we're going to go Manchester.
We're going to go back to Manchester.
The safest option. So while Matt was talking there,
yep,
we have turned the aircraft back around to Manchester.
Yep. That is the safest bet.
Yep.
And everything about aviation is the path of least risk. To go into an airfield where you'd have to auto land, and once the gear's down, you're stuck. If we have another failure, which means we can't auto land, we can't get into Belfast. So Manchester's nice clear day. That's the safest option.
Massive shout out to Mav in the Twitch chat as well. Great to see you, big man.
Well, give him a big
one of them.
One of them. How are you doing? Well, dude.
Right,
I love your
so
stream.
you're happy to remove the status?
Yeah, happy to remove status.
Status removed, ECAM actions complete.
And Mr. Sam Richardson with the 3 months of business class.
Ooh.
Hi, Fezza, and everyone. Hope you all going well. We are indeed, mate. There is a little bing bong for you.
When the stream is coming to you live from Manchester Flight Sim Centre, based at City Airport in Manchester, Barton. If you do want us to get yourselves booked in, Nightbot is posting links in the chat. The first 5 people to make a booking for 1 hour will get 90 minutes, guys. So massive deal coming into the Flight Deck Live. And if you do want to get yourself booked in, follow the Nightbot links in the chat. Let us know if you get yourself booked in as well, because our Airliners Live HQ is just next door, so we can come and say hello. But definitely let us know in the chat if you do book in.
Lovely stuff. Right, I think we better start our descent.
We should. And you know I said about the 3 times table? We're at 24,000 feet. We need 72 miles plus a bit to slow down. And the computer's saying we've got 59.
So we might need a little bit of lever.
We might need the Geneva lever.
Geneva lever. Yeah.
Let us get us going down.
So
and I'll put out
3,500 for the ILS.
Yep. And
so
what I will do,
that.
we'll let ATC know. We'll go. Attention, crew at stations. Pan, 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 pan. A-Live 100 kilo. Hydraulic failure. Intentions return to Manchester. Initially holding at Tidner. Stand by further intentions.
Right, let's start the descent.
Let's do it.
First idle, open descent, flight level 5 blue.
Yep.
And why no Mayday on this occasion?
Because, what do you think?
We've still got two fantastic engines. The aircraft is flying. We've simply lost the green hydraulics. Aircraft is flying, performing fine, and wouldn't really require the Mayday, would it?
Exactly, yeah. It's an issue. You don't want to go to a horrible airfield where there's no maintenance and the weather's awful, because we've talked about the gear. We go back to home base, we've got engineering support there, the weather's glorious. We've still got 2 hydraulic systems. Now, if we should lose another one, that's a different matter. So, is my camera on?
It is.
Cool. So we did the DODAR brief. We've started it. Diagnosis, options. We're going back to Manchester. Fezza's doing a great job. That was the decision. We then assigned some tasks. He'd either get me to fly. In the real life, a captain would always do the emergency landing. When you come to the review, you want to have a look at what happens next. You've got to keep thinking ahead. What happens next? What happens next? You start off with, is everything going okay? Fezza's doing a great job. We're descending down. We can see Manchester over there, a little bit high, but we can get that height off fine. The aircraft's flying lovely. We need to do a good brief about when the gear goes down. I need to tell air traffic control before we make our approach that runway is empty and there's no one in front of us. We don't want someone landing and blowing a tyre or someone doing a rejected takeoff like we did earlier and blocking the runway when we've got the gear down, burning a large amount of fuel. So before we make the approach, we will tell air traffic we want what's called a sterile runway. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have a chat about what happens next. So what happens if we lose another hydraulic system? Again, your hydraulic systems have redundancies built in. Andy, are you all right? Get the camera on this. I'll bring this hydraulic page up. What we have is the blue system is run by an electric pump. We have a thing there called a RAT, the ran air turbine, and it drops out the bottom of the aircraft. It's a little propeller, and it powers a pump that powers the blue hydraulic system. And on the yellow system, we've got an engine-driven pump, but if that fails, we have an electric pump. There's electric pump. There's the RAT to drop it. If we lose and the way I would brief it is, if we lose the fluid on another system, which is highly unlikely, but if we did, we would be in a dual hydraulic failure. Fezza's done one in his show before, landed in Corfu with just the blue system. The autopilot will be lost, the autothrust will be lost. There are special procedures for it. If we lose the pump, we can recover that system, and the way I word it is, if we lose another system, the autopilot will drop out, I will fly the aircraft. I want you to read the ECAM. If it says blue pump, you press that. The RAT takes 9 seconds to drop and come online, and we get the system back. If it says yellow pump, you'll press that button and the system will come back on a lot quicker. Can you see on your camera there, Andy, those little green bars there?
Yep, we got it.
Right. The Airbus has built-in protections. And that is to stop us turning the aircraft too much. It stops us pulling up or going down too much. That green line there is the limit of the bottom. While those are green, the aircraft is operating in what's called normal law. And if we end up in what's called alternate law, direct law, these will turn amber crosses because they're no longer available. We lose the protections. You may see that in a minute. We'll point it out as we go along. So...
I hope not.
You never know, mate. You never know.
And no, the different pan is not the same as a Mayday. So
No.
a pan would be called for something a lot less serious. A Mayday is an emergency call when you need to get down on the ground extremely quickly, guys. So yeah, there is a difference between that. If the plane's still flying properly, and they can have a bit of time to make decisions and get back to an airport of their choosing, then they'll probably call pan on the
Happy
radio.
for QNH?
Yep, go for it.
Yep.
1013.
Right,
Three
QNH
times.
is cross-checked. Okay. Do you want to brief the arrival, how you would normally do it?
So, we're currently descending down flight level 132 for 3,500. We are using the max available speed rate we have in the Airbus A320 with the autopilot engaged. So, that is half speed rate. If I was to then do this, if we'll get the flight controls open, and if I'd done that, it would give me a lot. You're not going to see it, but on the wings you would get a lot more speed brake as well because the autopilot is out. But obviously I'm going to leave the autopilot in because I'm lazy. And speed brake will be halved, and that should get us down nicely. So looking like if we can do the direct from Tinver to the centre fix.
Yep.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
So we'll do that. I'll
Probably
clear.
the final fix would probably be...
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
give us more of a turn, won't it?
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll clear that, and I'll clear the centre. Clear that again. I could have just typed it in, but and then that'll give us a nice little turn. So I'll
Lovely.
insert that.
That's good.
So this little blue arrow, I don't know if Andy can catch it. This blue arrow here is where we're gonna level off at 3,500. So I want to take my constraints. We want to be 3,500 at Foxtrot 2 3 right. So that is roughly about just before then, which is good because we're going to want to slow down as well.
Yeah.
So you always want to give yourself a little bit of, I'll zoom out now. You always want to give yourself a little bit of legroom to slow down as well. And obviously because of the failure, like we said, right here, slats, flaps, slow. So we definitely want to get down a bit more earlier to get them flaps out because we don't want to be stuck with not being configured, do we?
Yeah, that's
and below, just coming in below 10,000, we've got the seat belts, and we will take the landing lights.
Top man.
Big shout out to Azar as well. Where's me? Where am I? Oh,
Go on, have another dig.
He's blocking me. He's blocking me on purpose,
is
chat.
Is that set? Is that set ready?
He was spicing me then, Azar, on purpose.
Manually done.
And the other thing to consider as well, with the gravity gear extension, you'd put the gear down, there's a big handle that comes out here, and you turn it clunk 3 times, and then the gear would drop with the gravity extension. But we're not going to do that today, are we? We're just going to do it the normal way.
And Akugia, Clueless, with the Twitch Prime. Ooh. Thank you very much. If you are enjoying this evening's show, ladies and gents, you can click the dollar symbol or the gift symbol, whatever it's called. These days, YouTube seem to be rolling it out, so I think it's now like a little gift symbol. But for those, it might be $1 if you're over on our YouTube, and you can drop us some support. Me and Mark have been here all day. Mark has been doing some fantastic content for our new Pilot Explains series, which will be coming out very soon. So thank you very much, Mark, for your time today, coming down to the Manchester Flight Sim Centre, and for doing this with me. This is a fantastic experience, and I hope everyone else is watching it. So yeah, if you want to support us, you can click the dollar symbol / the gift symbol, and send in some support. So thank you very much. And those who are on a laptop or desktop, you can gift some memberships as well to our fantastic community. If you're over on Twitch, you can check your Twitch primes, and that'll be much appreciated. Seems we've got nearly 1,000 viewers across 2 platforms, Mark. So
excellent. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've just heard from air traffic control,
right,
and they've told us there is aircraft on the runway at the moment, so they've asked us to hold at Tinver.
Right.
So we're just going to enter the hold at Tinver. I've put it in there while they get that runway clear, because like we said, we want a clear runway, and who knows what could possibly happen in the hold.
So there we go, just making the hold at Tinver now.
Yep.
Still going to descend down to 3.5. Since we're in the hold, we'll probably lose the speed brakes now and give the passengers a bit of comfort there.
Hey, no worries, Mav. Glad you're enjoying the show, mate. Welcome to everyone tuning in on Twitch. Over 250 viewers tuning in on Twitch TV. And massive welcome to everyone tuning in on YouTube. Over 600 viewers watching on YouTube, which is probably about double, John, roughly what we usually get on the Flight Sim show.
I had over 500 once.
Oh, good.
Before, yeah.
Good. Well, yeah, a massive number of viewers anyway tuning in to the Flight Sim show this week. Cheers, guys.
Beautiful stuff. So, people asking about the simulator. So, yes, the graphics are P3D V5 or prepared, and it is ran on ProSim, which I think ProSim is it's typical for a lot of A320 cockpits. Obviously, the homemade ones. So, yeah, it is indeed P3D. So, we're just turning up the hold now. We're sending through 5,100. We've got QNHs set 1013. I think we're looking good, aren't we, Mark?
We are. It's looking good so far.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Let's get some shout-outs. Robin, good evening, mate. Ho!
Okay. Autopilot disconnect.
Your
I have
aircraft.
control. So, we've got thrust island set nav. We're still in the hold. If you can see the little amber X's and the amber X's there, we are now in what's called alternate law. The protections are gone, the roll rate of the aircraft has increased, and that means that something fairly major has happened. So, I have got thrust island set nav. We're in the hold at Tinva. The MSA is 3,500 feet, which we're descending to now. There's no weather ahead. The aircraft is safe. What has happened?
So we've had obviously previously our green hydraulic system has went, and now you can see on the upper ecam that we have a green and blue system low pressure, which means that we have lost the blue system as well as the green. So we can start our ECAM actions.
Right, no OEBs, my radios, ECAM actions.
ECAM actions. Blue electric pump is off. And then with that we will turn our manual rat on the rat. And there we go, we'll get the rat out and the rat will power the electrics.
There's the rat coming online
Yep.
now. And that amber should shortly turn blue. What failure did you give me? We've got system low pressure. You've drained all the fluid out.
Oh no! We got a real bit of confusion going on there.
Right, so speed out star. We are in a proper dual hydraulic failure now.
Can you explain what's happened, Mark? Because this wasn't planned, this bit. Fez has pressed the wrong button, shot.
Right then, out. So what's happened is jonFezza has, instead of killing the pump to simulate a dual hydraulic failure, we've actually lost all the fluid out of the central system. So we are in a proper dual hydraulic failure now. Cheers, mate.
Time for a strong butt.
I was going to give him a lift back to Macamland. I'm not now. Okay, so this is now a big deal. We are now flying on the yellow system, which means I have to get my little iPad out to talk about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign tasks. I'm going to give control to you, Fezza.
Or I can make your life a little bit easier if you want.
Hey, no cheating. No cheating.
Okay, no cheating. Sorry, Mark. I will.
Okay, right then. So actually, this flies better than the sims I normally fly in alternate law. It's quite nice. Right, so in speed out nav, we're coming around the corner in the hold. MSA's below us. We're safe. Aircraft is safe. You have control. We are in alternate law, so manoeuvre with care.
Control. I will manoeuvre with care.
An MSA, quick explanation, MSA?
Minimum safe altitude. They take their highest bit of ground, add 1,000 feet to it, and we stay 1,000 feet above that.
Basically means we're not going to crash into the floor.
We're not going to crash into the floor.
No,
So
and I have terrain on my side, just to double check.
Yeah.
And right at this moment in time, 1,900 feet is where the terrain is, and we're at 3.5. So.
This is about to get spicy, chat. Hope you're enjoying this live flight sim show in the flight deck with Captain Mark and let's call him Captain Fezza as well. I think
Captain
he's that
Fez.
First officer
He
Fez,
is a
thank
Captain
you.
Fez.
Foff, I'm the Foffs. The first officer Fez.
Right, we're live from Manchester Flight Sim Centre,
So
guys.
while you're flying it, I'm going to run through the ECAM. Autoflight, autopilot off. We know this because you're flying it. Clear autoflight.
Clear autoflight.
Hydraulic, green and blue system low pressure. Min-RAT speed 140 knots, it's not going to make any difference because there's no fluid. Manoeuvre with care. For go around, max pitch 15 degrees. Fuel consumption increased. FMS prediction unreliable. We know about that. Clear hydraulics.
Clear hydraulics.
Flight controls. Alternate law protection lost. Max speed 320 knots. Speed brake. Do not use.
Do not. Good job. I've put about it.
Clear flight controls.
Clear flight controls.
Secondaries available.
Start secondary.
Land ASAP red.
Roger that.
That now changes the game, doesn't it?
So we're not going to go back into the hold. We're now going to go straight to the centre.
Well,
fix.
we can stay for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've got to configure the aircraft. It's a little bit different. What I am going to do is go Mayday, 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 A-Live 100 kilo, dual hydraulic failure, request sterile runway, stand by further intentions. They will then call back and they will get that runway clear. So
and that has now been upgraded from a pan to a Mayday.
Because we now have one out of our 3 hydraulic systems left. So, flight controls. We have lost both our ailerons. We have lost one of our elevators. We still have the other elevator. Your roll control, like how Fezza is turning it now, is controlled just by the spoilers. We still have pitch trim, we still have the rudder working. So,
for now,
the aircraft, what we have now is a bit of a handling issue. Clear flight.
Bit of a Boeing.
A bit, yes. Clear flight controls?
Clear flight controls.
And status is now available.
Oh, that's a lot of action.
Look at that.
And in this situation, guys, the aircraft is very sluggish, very slow to respond, and a lot less responsive.
It's the opposite. It's more responsive, isn't it? Because
the rate of rolling doubles
more,
from 15
so
degrees
if I
to 30
chucked a
degrees
bit more in,
second.
it would. Hey, so.
But the problem you've got is you've got less spoilers, you've got no ailerons, plus you've only got one system, so you've got to treat it carefully and manoeuvre with care because we don't want that last system to fail. Don't touch anything on there.
You know what I'll do? I'll feel the blue pump now.
I'll put the bum on. Normally we would run through all of this, but for time constraints, we'll go through fairly quickly. Min-RAT speed, we're not interested in maximum speed. We've talked about manoeuvre with care.
I'm trying. It's
good.
Blooming difficult.
Yes. Speed brake, do not use. For go around, max pitch 15 degrees. Fuel consumption increased. We're going to have to turn the auto thrust off. For landing, flap 3, flap 3, flap 3. I would also bring up my iPad, which has a landing performance chart on. I would enter these failures. It would tell me the speeds I want to be flying at. My approach speed is VREF plus 25 on 40, so we're going to be going in at 160. But the iPad that I don't have with me is a lot more accurate.
If it's plus 25, would we be coming at one? Oh, the VLS.
On top of the VLS, yeah.
Champion. 160.
Alternate law protection loss when landing gear down. Actually, hang on a minute. 155 because you do it off flap 3. And then you go to flap 3 once you've done that. Right. When landing gear down, we're in direct law. Alternate yellow braking with anti-skid. FMS predictions unreliable. In-op systems, green and blue hydraulic. Still got the yellow. It's a good one to have. Flight control protections we know about because we've got these crosses here, these amber X's on my flight displays and Fezza's flight display. Left elevator, still got the right one. Left and right aileron, but we've got some spoilers. Spoilers 1, 3 and 5, so we've got spoilers 2 and 4. The slats. Oh look, the slats are now amber.
So they are inoperative.
Do you remember when I said slats and flaps, slats and flaps? So we've only got the flaps, we haven't got the slats that come out the front of the wing anymore. Cheers, mate.
You're not the one
A lot
flying.
of the Twitch chat are encouraging John to turn off the last system, but that is not going to happen, guys.
It's not going to happen. Autopilot 1 and 2, Cap 2's out, normal brakes, we know about auto brakes. Landing gears retract, we've talked about that, reverser. Emergency generator doesn't work, so we don't want to lose any electrics as well. Don't touch that. Green and blue electric hydraulic pump, your damper, and we'll have a look at the next page. Hang on a minute. Why is that not coming down? Anyway, That's what we've lost, just about lots and lots. Luckily, I've written this for just such a scenario. This is how we're going to brief it. At the moment, you will fly the aircraft in alternate law protections loss and manoeuvre with care. Speed brake is unavailable, so it must not get high on profile. We're now happy. Rate of roll is reduced as we had no ailerons, so any turns require anticipation. This is actually handling quite nicely.
As you can see, I'm 0.2 off because, again...
You're doing a grand job, chap.
It's hard.
You're doing a grand job, mate. Obviously, I'll have to take over the landing, which I'm not looking forward to. This will be a Cat 1 Config 3 landing with no slats, manual thrust using selected speed. So, to start configuring the aircraft for landing, when I take over, I'll ask you to select a speed of 225 knots, which is velocity flap extension -5. And then I'll get you to select flap 1. There's no configuration change because on flap 1 in the plane, as you explained the other week on your stream, only the slats come out. They're not going to happen.
Yep.
At 200 knots, I'm going to disconnect the auto thrust and we're going to put the gear down. And the aircraft will then return or turn into direct law. I will be trimming. I'll then get
turns into a 737 basically.
Turns into a 737. I'll then get you to select 195 knots, call and select flaps 2. There's a large configuration change. VLS and VSW rise rapidly. We may get a stall warning. What I'm going to do is put it in a shallow descent as we do that and then climb back up to release the loading on the wings. I'll get you to select 180 knots. We'll go for flap 3. I'll then get you to select VAP of 155 and we continue with the landing. Landing. Aircraft pitch will be lower than normal. After landing, I will use full reverse and manual braking as auto brake is not. Go around. There are non-standard calls and drills. I will call go around. I will apply toga. Do not change gear flap config. It's a direct law go around, so I will have to trim forward. A couple of good trims. If I'm fighting it, I may ask you to help me. Good CRM. That will avoid excessive pitch up. Given the fuel situation, I prefer to remain in the circuit and commit to the airfield. Are you happy with that brief, sir?
I am happy.
Marvellous. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go out and fly along final approaching.
Yep.
Because this is too short now.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you, while you're flying it, you can't do too much at the moment, I'm going to select a heading and pull for that. You now have heading.
Heading.
Right. So we're going to fly downwind, then we're going to turn in a long way out and start configuring the aircraft. Are you enjoying flying that?
It's different. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see on his camera. He's concentrating, isn't he? He's really concentrating. He's working hard.
Bloody difficult.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's not much fun.
Direct law's not much fun either, but
it's going to be even less fun. So we're going to fly away from the airfield. Get ourselves a good distance. We're only 10 miles away. I want at least 15, 18 miles to configure for this because direct law's fun. And then once we're happy and established, I'll turn you inbound, I'll give you a lock, and once we're on a long final, I'll take control and we'll configure the aircraft.
Happy days. And just thinking tonight, gifting a tier 1 sub to Moonburbs. Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone tuning in today. Lots of you in the chat saying you're loving the show, you're having a great time. A little bit of a better
Mark
time
isn't.
than Captain Mark, there he is. But you're tuning into Airliners Live, the Flight Sim special, live from the Flight Sim Centre. If you want to come and fly this awesome A320 sim, links are in the chat from Nightbot, and there's special deals as well. 20% off using the code SIM20, and you can book for an hour as well.
Sorry, Jen saying, why do you feel anxious? It's because I'm flying the plane.
First 5 people to book for an hour will get 90 minutes. So yeah, lots to come still in. So
there you go, SIM20, ladies and gents. Use that code. Links are in the chat. Well, I try. At least I'm not making any turns now.
You're doing a good job.
A lot of people in the chat saying they're raiding the drinks for it. They're all on the vodka, and they've had nothing but nightmares on this flight. They're going to be claiming all the compensation they can.
Excellent.
Would there be any expletives said while carrying this out in real life, Captain? I think you're a professional, aren't you?
Yeah, there would be a lot of swearing going on in this one. There would be a lot of old English language coming out if this was happening for real. So we can assume we are clear for the approach, we are clear to land, the runway is sterile, the airport is ours, and when we go a little bit further, I'm going to turn you around, and we will go and have a go at landing this thing in direct law. Cheers, Fezza.
My pleasure, mate.
How did I get roped into this, honestly?
It's just in the moment, click the wrong button. I mean, close
Oh
enough,
yeah, I
isn't
mean,
it?
yeah, they look similar, don't they?
Electric, hydraulic,
electric,
yeah.
hydraulic. Yeah, it's what a mistake.
Maybe I should just let you have the failure control, shouldn't I, on your iPad?
Well, yeah, we tried that on Takeoff, and look how that worked. Right, I reckon that'll do.
Fezza smug emote is required at this point. You
Yeah,
definitely
plenty
did
of
that on purpose.
Fezza smug emotes, I think. Right, there's 200. I'll give you a lock. You've got a lock, Blue.
Thank you.
About 20 miles out, so that looks good.
Just coming over the moors here. Don't know if we should be able to catch it on the camera shortly. It should be really nice.
Yeah, we can see
And you
it.
can see that 3,500 is the minimum safe altitude indeed. That's why we're at this.
I used to like watching your flight sim shows, Fezza.
Yeah, join the club.
Tell you what, let's just level you off there for a bit of...
Ooh, what's going on here? People
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, there's one. We'll head on that heading chat for a bit because just a little bit far out.
No, that now is definitely not the sign for a bird strike shot.
There you are. Yeah, no bird strikes
It's not
today.
easy this, especially when you make that turn, the pitch just changes. Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fezza, let's make life easy. I'll take control with you. So while we're still a long way from the airport, we're going to start configuring aircraft. So we've got Mac. What have we got, Mac? We've got that speed out heading. Okay, I have control.
Your control.
Right, and flaps 1, please.
Speed checks. Flaps 1.
Super. Status is checked. There's no change. Remove status, please.
Move status. And look how slow the flaps are coming down there.
They're not going to move. And can you select me 200 knots, please?
And 200 is set.
Now, when I take the auto thrust out, notice the auto thrust is reducing. You see the little blue donuts there?
Yep.
I'm going to put that over there and then disconnect the auto thrust. Auto thrust disconnected. Right then, can you set me speed of 195, please?
195 set.
Cheers. I'm going to put a little descent in, take some power off. Flaps 2, please.
Speed checks. Flaps 2.
Look at that, boys.
Very tight.
Look at that.
Locks.
Yeah, Lockstar, I'm just going to fly through it a little bit because it's not going to work. Can you select me now speed of 180, please?
180.
Thank you, sir. And why is Lockstar doing that? Because the aircraft is not really flying very well, is it?
I mean, I can take the control back.
I've got full left stick here, mate. Let's try that, see if that gets it back. So configuring the aircraft's a difficult bit. Right then, flaps, gear down, please.
Speed, get down. Get down.
Cheers. And flaps 3, please.
Get down. Flap 3.
And speed 155, please.
155, direct law.
Use match man pitch trim. You see it's flashing on the primary flight display now.
Yep.
Saying use man pitch trim. When I take the power off, the nose will want to drop. So I need to trim for it. And I'm going to lead the flight director slightly here.
So we've got flight control, direct law, protection loss, use man pitch trim. Clear flight control.
Clear flight controls. Cheers, man.
And we now have a landing gear, doors not closed, max speed of 250.60, fuel consumption is increased, and the FMS prediction is unreliable.
Yep, and let's just get that in quick as well. Glide slope blue, cat 1.
And landing gear, door clear.
Clear gear.
Clear gear.
Amelia C, welcome to Premium Economy membership. Brand new VIP.
Yay.
Welcome, Amelia.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Wide slope.
We've got Mr. Jordan Webb in the chat as well.
Hey, right. Hello, Jordan.
Goodness.
You feeling better now, son? He was looking a bit green earlier when we saw him, didn't we? Bless him. So we've got the power set. It's trimmed. Don't have to touch it. I'm going to take a little bit of power off. It's a little wiggle on the thrust levers. You see how I'm wiggling the thrust levers? And I just have to pitch up slightly. And then I need to trim. There, that's good. And
Usually in the Airbus, those trim wheels would move by themselves.
Yep, it has automatic trimming, which is nice.
But because John's broke the plane, Mark's having to do it manually. And Jeanette McKenzie sends in a £10 super chat saying, double vodka and a pork pie for Mark. He needs it after this.
Thank you.
I think we've got some pork pies in the fridge.
I brought some porky pies earlier, yep.
With pineapple on top?
Yep. Right then, so 3,500 is set for the missed approach and it's blue. I'm flying slightly fast, but I'm happy with that at the moment. We are cleared to land. The runway's in sight. And notice when I move the thrust levers, you do a little wiggle, because they don't move big. On the 757, the 737, it has a big movement. It's a nicer set of thrust levers. These really aren't designed to be flown with the auto thrust out. So
it is standard up for like some airlines like Lufthansa, isn't it?
What, to fly auto thrust off?
Yep.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
We used to be allowed to do it when the weather, the conditions were sufficient. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, that'll do.
Did you print out the Airliners Live logo and put it in the window of the simulator?
I did, but like normal, it fell out. I think that's a standard theme, isn't it? Right, landing checks, please, sir.
Passage check, isn't it?
Cabin, secure for landing.
Cabin secured.
Auto thrust is off. Go around altitude 3,500 feet.
Ecam memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Thank you, sir. Mate, this is not much fun. This is not much fun. Honestly. And I was going to buy you
100 kilo. Runway 23 right. You are cleared to land.
Sandy, Harry.
Andrew Johnson, welcome to Premium Economy. Brand new VIP, welcome, dude.
Cheers, Andrew. Thank you, everyone, for your support.
Sterile cockpit from this moment on, guys. We'll be reading out any support after the landing.
And if Mark greases it, you can send a little super chat by clicking the little dollar symbol.
If you want to come and book on Manchester Flight Sim Centre live from City Airport Bar and get yourself booked in, links are in the chat. Discounts available. Use code SIM20 for 20% off. And first 5 people to book an hour will get 90 minutes. And as I say, we're live from Manchester Flight Sim Centre, Airliners Live HQ.
And as we've done before, John, I'm going to get slightly low on the glide, like you did, mate. Jordan's just jealous because he hasn't got a table like me.
Poor dirty shirts.
500.
Stable. Continue.
400. 100 above.
Check.
300. Minimum.
Continue. Checked.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Come on, boys, down there somewhere.
5.
That'll do. Manual
Spoilers.
brakes.
3 versus 1 green.
Got full bullet brake. Well, it's close enough.
and you guys call me G-Mo, eh?
70
70 knots. Well done, you made it.
Well, that was fun. I was going to buy you a crate of Strongbow as well, you know. I thought, I'll buy some beer, and he goes and does that to me.
There we go.
So there you are. That's
you
the dual
enjoyed that.
hydraulic failure. Thanks, Vezza. But as you can see, we're down to one hydraulic system out of 3. The aircraft, although it was difficult to fly, it wasn't impossible to fly. And, you know, again, I don't know anyone who's ever had this happen for real. I don't know anyone who's ever lost one hydraulic system, let alone 2. But again, we train for this regularly. You're quite safe up there.
Happy days. Time is 10 to 8. What would you like to do, Mark?
10 to 8.
10 to 8.
What do you got? Do you finish at 8?
No, I mean, we can finish whatever time, you know.
Happy days.
We're not pushed for time
Not
out. No,
at all, mate.
not at all.
Whenever you
We're-
guys
we're
have
enjoying
had
it,
enough
so-
you let me know.
What was left in the little book?
And my little black boot.
But while you guys
I
have
think
a,
it's only fair that since I've done you dirty, you do me dirty.
I'm not going to do you dirty, son. Actually, that one, that was a gift
Yes.
for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, should we do that?
We'll
Would you
do
like
it,
to
we'll
clear all of that?
I
then?
will. We will reset this, all these gents,
Yeah.
and Mark will go and get his own back on me.
Yeah, massive thanks to Josephine, who gifted a sub on the channel. You guys are muted while the sim gets turned around, and yeah, I think we're probably going to have maybe one more scenario, something like that, and then we will give Mark a well-deserved rest. But we're live from the Manchester Flight Sim Centre, guys, live from City Airport, Barton. But if you are enjoying the show, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. We're just, as I say, getting the aircraft all ready to go for another run. Anonymous Cheerer, thank you very much for the 100 bits. We're just giving the guys a very, very quick break. Obviously, they've been well on it on the scenarios recently. So yeah, a massive thank you to those guys for getting involved. And if you're enjoying it, let us know in the chat, guys. It's been an awesome show so far. Paul Hughes saying, great show. Cheers, Paul. And well done, Captain Mark. Patient of a saint, says Robin. But I hope you are enjoying this. We put a lot of effort into this show behind the scenes with multiple cameras, getting everything on and ready for you guys to bring you the very best scenarios. And obviously, a massive thanks to Captain Mark for making the long trip down, coming down on his day off and spending the day with us here at Airliners Live HQ to take John through his paces and take you guys for the ride of your lives. And Mark has actually been filming some videos with us here today, and it's for a brand new series on Airliners Live called Pilot Explains, where we're going to be going through some fears of flying videos. We're going to be doing an in-depth Airbus series, going through all of the systems and things like that. So if you've got any ideas in the chat, let us know, and we'll be happy to include them. Tom, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Says, I don't usually watch the flight sims, but this is fantastic. I don't think I want to fly with these pilots. They are too unlucky. Well, don't forget, we are manually creating these failures, and it's just testament to the fantastic system here at Manchester Flight Sim Centre. And don't forget, folks, if you are into your flight sim, you've got hundreds of hours in the Airbus, just let the guys know, let Andy know, let Mike know. Just say, look, guys, yeah, I've spent a lot of time in the sim, and now plan something maybe a little bit spicier for you guys, take you up, make sure you know what you're doing, and then potentially throw a couple of failures in if you wish as well. So get involved, come down, Manchester Flight Sim Centre. Links are in the chat from Nightbot. Get yourself booked in, and if you use code SIM20, you will get 20% off your flight. Andy B tuning in from Echo Delta Delta Victor. Welcome to you. Hope you're doing well. Mehmet, great to see you. Shirley Dev, hope you're doing well, dude. Mate, yeah, possibly so, mate. But Tony saying this is ridiculously cool. You're loving it, Tony. Nice one, dude. And I'm sure Mark's boss is watching. We hope not. And we've smashed 700 viewers, concurrent viewers, that is, on the Flight Sim stream today, which is fantastic. But yeah, Dave saying it does feel intense. It really does, Dave, because obviously all this is happening. Mark's obviously had tons of training for this and is well prepared for it. But yeah, even for me, watching like just with my little control station here, changing the cameras, I'm super excited. I'm absolutely loving it. It's great. But no, the sim itself is fantastic, guys. It's got full wraparound screens. You're in the flight deck, all the buttons work, all the systems work. So come down and get involved. And if you do fancy something just a little bit different, have a look on their website, because you can also take up an Arrow as well, which is a light aircraft, which is in the back room. You can... Commander, sorry, my mistake. It's a Commander light aircraft, and that's in the back room, and you can take that up for a little VFR flight as well, guys. So an option if you don't fancy the big bus, you can take one of the lighter aircraft out, which are pretty similar to what flies in and out of Barton, and do some circuits there as well. British Raven, thank you very much, dude, saying you're loving the content on the channel. Thank you very much. And Farhan, great to see you in the stream. 880 viewers on YouTube and Twitch. God, you made me jump there, Shirley Dev. I thought we had 800 on Twitch, and I was going to say we've never had that. Thank you very much for the update. We're just working behind the scenes, as you can see here, just to get things rolling. We are just resetting a few systems, because don't forget, guys, every time we do a flight like this, we need to reset it back to the beginning, just to put the aircraft back to a vanilla state. Mr. Vex tuning in from South Africa, welcome to you. 6 Day Blue saying you've nailed it, guys. Brilliant show. Well done to all those working behind the scenes. Yes, and a massive thanks to Manchester Flight Sim Centre for sponsoring today's video, giving us time in the sim. We've been really fortunate, guys. We've had the sim all day for ourselves today, setting the cameras up, spending time, getting ready. Yes, we are just getting ready. I can see the guys just working behind the scenes, as you can see there, getting things ready. And as you can see, John is there on the failures page, just working out what delights are going to come next, folks. So stick around for that. Give the stream a refresh if you can, but it looks like we are ready to go. We're going to unmute the boys there, and I'm going to get our main cam back and in position.
Happy days.
Happy days. Are we ready for some more?
Maybe.
Are we? Right.
Let's do it.
Are our passengers happy?
I think all passengers are tucked in, are we?
Yeah.
Belts are on.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Cabin secure?
I am.
Shall we go?
Let's go.
Right. Take off.
Take off.
Now, everyone in the back, have you got a vodka? Are you all good? You ready to go? Because I can guarantee you are not getting to your destination on this one. Sorry, guys.
Unless your destination is...
Money on the map at 161.
Mantoga SRS runway.
knots.
Checked.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up, please.
Gear up. Yep. That's just because that's not... There you go.
There you are. Top man. AP1. And like I said in the stream, when you come to this acceleration bit, you don't want to just slam the thrust levers back. Gentle wiggle, bring them back there. Gentle wiggle, bring them back there. And it sounds nicer. Oh no! What's happened? You have control, sir. We've got AC bus fault. Who'd have thought that? I've lost all my screens. I've lost everything.
So the meme was...
Shall we get rid of the flaps first?
We'll get speed checks. Flap 0, please.
Speed check, flap 0.
So the meme was, ladies and gents, my displays were going to fail. But Mark went, I'm changing up. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And I think after the issue with me giving them a little hydraulic failure, yeah, he's got his own back, so I have to fly the plane.
Oh, what a shame. But you do it so well, Fezza, mate, you know, let's be fair.
And that's only one failure that I know of. There could be a few more.
Let's not, mate, let's not, I'm not that cruel. Okay, so...
Ecam action.
Right, so we've speed out nav,
Yep.
you've got AP1 in. ECAM actions. AC essential bus fault. AC essential feed to alternate. So, elect AC essential feed alternate.
Hear the clunk of the gen there?
Yep. That hasn't worked. Oh dear. So, ATC system 2. So we go ATC 2 because Fezza's now flying it. Underlined bit, we've come to the end of that. Underlined clear elect.
Clear elect.
We now have autoflight. Rudder travel limiter 1 fault. Rudder travel to limiter 1. We're not. We
That's
don't really
fine,
care.
because we've got number 2.
Yeah, we don't care.
Happy days. So clear autoflight.
Clear autoflight. And we have states available.
Start status.
I have to
And
press
you've
and
got to hold it down, yep.
I have to press and hold. So there's no resets. Expanded checklist, yeah, well, it's failed. We're obviously not,
No window, man.
you know, there's a lot of stuff. There's a few bits in the flight crew operating manual about it, but nothing that doesn't tell us here. So we lost ADR1, which is up there, confirmed by the fault light.
Yep.
We've lost the Captain Pitot, which reads our forward airspeed. Captain angle of attack, which works out whether we're going to stall. We've lost Cat 2, so it's got to be a Cat 1 landing.
Cat 1
so you need
London.
somewhere nice weather. Oh, you a lucky boy. Yaw damper 1, but we've still got yaw damper 2. Rudder limiter 1 and rudder travel limiter 1 are both gone, but we've still got 2. SDAC's gone. We don't really need it. It powers my screens, and we've got SDA 2. Flight warner computer 1. So I'm now going to be your flight warner computer, because if it 2 fails, you won't get an alert. So I'm going to keep scanning and making sure nothing else comes up. DMC 1's gone, we've still got DMC 2 and 3. ATC transponder 1, we've switched it to 2.
Yep.
GPWS has gone. And GPS 1 is it not? We've still got GPS 2. GPWS is a bit of a reason to have a chat. We have also lost, by the looks of it, my McDo. Oh dear.
Oh, shame.
My radio's still working. That all still works. So effectively, you've just got a big pay rise. You're now captain, son. So
I want me 4 stripes, ladies and gents.
I'll lend you mine. So it's a basic electrical failure. The essential bus, the AC essential bus, feeds the captain's screens, my captain's computer, a few other bits and bobs. It's failed. As you can see, on Fezza's side, the aircraft's flying gorgeously. I preempted this, so I've got you turning back towards our favourite little point off near the runway, so you can set up for the arrival. The good thing is, you're still in normal law. You've got your little green bars everywhere.
Yep.
The aircraft's fully serviceable apart from this, so you're going to have to fly.
Hey.
And what would usually cause a failure like this, Mark?
It's a generic failure of what's called the AC essential buzz bar. I've never seen it in real life. I've never seen any of the electrics fail on this
There you
aircraft.
go, ladies and gents. You're getting a first look.
A first look at it. Normally, if a generator fails, we reset it, or we can start the little APU to give us the power back. But for an actual buzz bar to fail is so rare, especially the AC essential one. But I thought it'd be nice for... Well, you can see the skills of the Fezza, because he is Fez-tastic, isn't he? Let's be fair.
And some bloke who travels a lot, thanks so much for the £5 super chat, saying brace position and you will find clean underwear under your seats. So,
What do you mean, brace?
We need
wrong with
that.
my flying. Excuse me.
Again, the failure management model is we now would do a DODA.
Yep.
Fez would ask me, what do you think's happened? We lost the AC essential bus, yeah. Options, well, do we want to continue?
I think we will continue back to Manchester.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Considering Belfast is in fog and we can't auto land, then
Yep.
yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Decision is, you've decided, Captain, we're going to go back in
Divert
and
back
land
to Manchester.
back to Manchester. You could assign the tasks. Obviously, I can fly the aircraft. If at any
But
point you
you're
wanted
like
a
this.
break, I would get you. This is a good trip for you sim guys. Can you flip your screens over, please? Now I can see them better. So if I was to fly the aircraft, I can see that. I've got the standby to use, and between the two, I can get a nice little scan going. So if Fezza wanted to give it to me and I was hand flying it, I could monitor the instruments nicely. Cheers very much for that.
You're welcome. You're not having it.
And we do
Awesome
that in the
little
sim. We do that in the sim as well.
And would the captain usually take control in that situation, or would you happily leave it with the FO?
Fezza's going to have to land it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it was maybe a really, really strong crosswind, in which case you just go somewhere better. You can land it on this. I've got an ILS indication. I've got speed indication. It's not a fun instrument to fly, and it's a bit small. You like the big instruments.
Hasn't got a flight director either.
No, it hasn't. It would be a raw data one,
Yep.
and we discussed that. For raw data work without the flight directors, we have this wonderful little thing called a bird. If I just quickly switch that off and put
Turn
that
that
on.
on.
Can you
Hear
see
that
that on
Triple
triple
click
screen there,
which is
Andy?
the downgrade. Wait, what I'll do is that. There you go.
There you are. You've got the bird.
The bird is
That
the word.
line there is our track, so we set that up. And that bird is telling me I'm flying straight and level. If the bird was up, I'd be climbing. If it was down, I'd be descending. And if you're flying towards the ILS, we did one earlier in practice, that you'd line it up with the ILS like that. The ILS indication would be underneath you here, and it takes into account the wind. And it makes raw data work an awful lot easier than if you were flying something a little bit older or a little bit more mechanical.
Thankfully, though, we'll wrap the flight.
We won't do that because I'm not going to be that cruel yet. So we would review it. Now, what would happen if we'd lose another electrical system? Maybe the AC bus 2, you'd lose your screens and I'd be flying on that. That would be a mayday. At the moment...
Which one's that, Mark?
You're on your own, I'm out in the back on the vodkas. But yeah, again, we'd review the entire situation about what, we'd look at other failures and we'd talk about it. But all we've got to do now is, Fezza's got the box. You can flip your screens back if you want now, son, because it's set up for the ILS. And you guys just watch the master do his work, because that's what you've come here for, isn't it?
Champion. Right, let's have a look at our performance page.
And Jake saying first
Approach.
the rat, and now the
That's all
bird.
then.
We've got half a zoo here.
What's the minimum?
450.
450.
It used to be
In there.
460, but apparently someone we know keeps hammering it into the hump, and they've lowered the runway a little bit.
Jordan Webb. Right, I've activated the approach phase, so we're going to go down to green dot speed.
Lovely job.
So I'll take landing lights as well.
Super.
Get them back on.
I'm going to sit here and put my feet up. Look at that. That's it.
Happy days.
Yeah. And I mean, if you wanted to drop down to 2,000, cut the corner, it's up to you. Or if you just want to blag the chat, I can't see the chat, my phone battery's dead.
We'll read a little bit of the old chat out, I think.
Yeah, you got a bit of
There we
time,
are.
haven't you? I'm going to give some bing bongs. Anyone
Yeah.
deserve a bing bong?
Everyone deserves a bing bong.
Bing bongs.
Mr. Some Bloke, who travels a lot with a £5
you
super
legend.
chat.
We'll have another bing
Brace
bong.
position, you will find clean underwear under your seats, guys. Is that next to the life chat then?
Yeah. That's why the brace position is put your head between your legs and kiss your backside goodbye.
Beautiful. But I hope everyone has enjoyed the show this evening. Sponsored by the Manchester Flight Sim Centre.
Yeah.
Links are in the chat. Use code SIM20 for 20% off. You can come down and fly this brilliant A320 simulator. It's my first time in this today, and I'm loving it. I want one now.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice.
Got one in your garage.
Yeah, I like
So
this.
he got his first time in there.
Yeah,
This is his first time in there.
Yep.
Quite
Yeah.
like, isn't he?
yeah. His first time and he's flying like a pro.
An excuse.
He's flying it like a pro. Oh, he's some boy. I've got a little bit.
Don't know about that.
Well, thanks everyone for getting involved in the chat today, and this is just a taster of what our weekly flight sim shows are like, guys. So if you do love flight sim, or if this is your first time watching one of the flight sim shows, every Monday at 6 p.m.
Easy,
Nearly
son.
got me there. At 6 p.m. John is live from his home simulator, which is unfortunately a little bit
Little bit
less of
smaller.
a spectacle than this one. But listen, we're all doing the same thing, and John's showing you the way through failures. We're flying to different parts of the world, landing at different airports, showing you some fantastic scenery. So every Monday, 6 p.m, if you've enjoyed yourself tonight, make sure you tune into the Flight Sim show. And you never know, we may be back again in the near future, guys. But massive thanks again to Pilot Mark for joining Fezza on today's show. and taking him through the ropes. Appreciate it, mate.
No worries. I've really enjoyed this, actually.
What, up to the point where before I give you a dual hydraulic failure?
That was enjoyable.
Was the one I wanted to do, but you stole on me.
Oh, sorry, mate. I can give you one now if you like. Here.
Give me someone.
Give him a nice crosswind. That's what he needs.
I'm trying to be nice to the lad. What else could we give him? Let's have a look.
What's the horn sim running? I primarily fly Microsoft Flight Simulator at the MSFS 2020. And let's get a massive for Mr. Tony Parkinson with the £20 super chat. Thank you very much, Tony, for that support, mate. Appreciate that very much. Let's get the bing bongs and the love in the chat.
And Tony says, good luck, we're all counting on you.
And don't call me Shirley. Master caution, AP1 has dropped out.
Has it?
Yeah, AP2 might be available.
There you go.
Look at that. I'm enjoying this. Ooh, dual FCU channel failure. Nah, I'm not going to be cruel, mate. I'm not going to be cruel.
Be cruel, it's for the content.
Direct law.
Press the random button if you want.
Andy, the boss of the flight sim centre, says, I can press the random button if you want. Give him a proper random failure. Yay or nay in the chat for the random button, guys, for the last landing today.
Better be quick though. So 3.5, we're down to green dots. Oh, looking good. Near. Oh, never mind. Never mind. So all nears. Cheers, guys. If you put a year, you're banned. Oh, we're gonna have no viewers left. Right, go on, random failure then.
Go on, give him one click of that random button, Andy. He's ready for it.
Go for
Chat have voted.
Hands on the stick.
We will see what happens.
Here we go.
Only one, though. Don't we? We still want him to land.
Not 1 a minute, no.
No, not 1 a minute. And this sim can do 1 a minute, guys. If you want to come down and set the world
spiced.
record for how long you can keep the plane in the sky, then we might have to get a bit of a
Right, I'll
leaderboard
take
running.
flat one, please.
Speed checked, flaps 1.
I haven't got a readout of the distance. That part of the
You
failure.
haven't, but if you went to
There.
ILS. Oh, yeah, that's lock. No, you haven't.
I don't need one.
Tell you what you do.
Go there, put 2-3 right in there, and then it gives you the distance.
There you are, chap.
Thank you very much. So coming up to 7.5 miles, we're currently S speed. I think we'll take flap 2, please.
Speed check, flaps 2.
And we'll, can I have a 160 knots, please? We'll hold 160 little 4 DMA. And whoa, we have a mega bong from Mr. Kevin D. Great to meet you yesterday, Kevin. Thank you very much. With that £50 super chat. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that very much. That mega bong. Get the love in the chat for Mr. Kevin D. Thank you very much, mate. Create a Western Pheasant and purchase some hair trimmers for tomorrow. Oh, mate.
Yes, that is tomorrow morning's job of the day. And Gillian, thank you so much for the £3 super sticker. Loving the show as well.
And Rachel Dawes, thank you for the £1.79 super chat. This has been incredible tonight. Thank you very much. And gear down, please.
Yeah, sure. Gear down.
Thank you very much for your support this evening, ladies and gents.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. It really is appreciated. We're having the time of our lives, and really grateful that you're giving up your evenings to watch us two big clowns.
And with speaking of big clowns, he's a scum.
Right, okay, hang on. Nose gear unlocked. Gear up.
Gear up.
Gear up.
I haven't got a nose gear.
This will swap to the second LGCIU.
Yep.
This should work, I hope.
So what's happened? What have we seen, guys?
So I've just put the gear down, and
we had the red unlock night on the nose gear. The nose gear did not come down and lock. When you have red unlock, it means that the nose gear is not down. So
3 3,500 feet, 160 knots. I think we'll push the speed.
Well,
160.
we're going to have to do an orbit
Yep.
and come back because we've missed the glide
Mm-hmm.
because of that. So if you go heading and turn us on to 052, attention crew at stations. Right, landing gear not down locked, landing gear recycle, we did that. If unsuccessful after 120 seconds, landing gear gravity extension. Here's the gravity extension handle. Okay, so that's not coming down.
Not a chance.
Yeah, no.
Excellent. Excellent. Right then, young Fezza.
Andy causing all sorts of trouble back here.
Brilliant. So, we'll put a Mayday out. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. A-Live 100 kilo. We have a nose landing gear disagree. It appears the landing gear is not down and locked. We will be turning downwind. We will be making another approach and we will be blocking the runway. Stand by for further intentions. Can I just have a quick look at this a minute,
Yeah,
chat?
have a look, mate.
Just want to look at something here. They're not going to want us to block 2-3 right, are they?
No, so we're going to have to go and do the VOR for 2-3 left. The RNAV.
Have the RNAV, it's
Yeah.
lined up. There you are.
So we're going to go chuck it in to 2-3 left.
Take them off.
Hello,
Cheers, bud.
yeah.
And while the guys kick through some actions, a massive thanks to Philbo for the 249 super chat. Cheers, dude. Gary Williams with a 449, and some bloke who travels a lot with the £5 super chat.
Three.
This is awesome. Can I get
Do you want
another
flat three?
large vodka,
brilliant.
please? He says. Thanks very much.
Black
guys.
hole, you want to go as slow as possible.
Yeah, flap full.
Or break medium. Right.
So order bit medium, we're going to do flap full. So ecom actions, haven't got the landing gear gravity extension is unfortunately inoperative.
Hasn't worked yet.
No.
So clear landing gear.
Clear landing gear.
Landing gear removed. Status.
Hello, we're all going to die.
Status is showing me on the landing gear. Yeah, you've got 2 red triangles. If we had one of those which was working, or if we had one of those which was green, we know the gear's down. You don't need both, you just need one. If one of them says unlock, it might be a sensor fault. If they were reading green, we would okay, the nose wheel's down. They don't want you to overfly the runway and they look with binoculars because it's a bit unclear if the gear's sort of parked down.
Yep.
So what you are going to have to do now, my dear chap, is land it with a dicky gear. And I happen to occasionally fly with the lovely daughter of Virgin captain Tim Barnby, who landed that 340 at Heathrow with one of the wheels knocked down. And he did a fantastic job of it, so now you've got to live up to that standard, my dear chap.
Well, I will try. And Mr. Andy B saying with a £2 super chat, I just wanted to go to Belfast.
He keeps putting in, it's cost him a fortune, this.
Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. And some bloke who travels a lot with the £5 super chat. Oh my god, this is awesome. Can I get another large vodka, please?
Yeah, I think.
Hi, cabin crew, can you bring a large vodka to the flight deck? Thank you.
Oh, dear me.
I think I need
cabin
one, mate.
crew's a
Thank you
bit
very
busy there, Fez.
Oh, never mind. And did you have Phil Bourne, Gary Williams, mate?
Yeah.
Champion. Lovely stuff.
So, for this, we would be briefing the cabin crew. It will be an emergency landing. We'll be stopping on the runway. The fire services will be waiting for us, and we will probably have to do a emergency evacuation once we're landed to get everyone off the aircraft because there's going to be sparks and it's going to be quite unpleasant. And plus, you can't get the steps to the front because the nose will be down. For the landing, one of your beautiful greasers will be nice.
Yep.
You need to hold the nose nice and gently as long as possible, but not too long that the tail runs out of authority.
Yep.
Because the slower you go, the tail loses authority, and then the nose will drop down, and you'll bend the plane. So you've got to gently fly it on. But a man of your
Fly the nose, Gil.
fly the nose down. We don't want to do what that 767 did at Bristol that time.
One last. I was muted. One last thank you again to the Manchester Flight Sim Centre for sponsoring today's show. We've had a great time. I hope you guys have in the chat as well. And if you want to come down and enjoy a flight in this yourself, guys, then links are in the chat by Nightbot. come along, get involved, and get yourself booked on. The first 5 people to book on will be getting 90 minutes instead of the 60. And you can use code SIM20 in the chat to get 20% off your experience. And come and have a go with us yourself, guys. Airliners Live HQ's just next door, so you can always knock on and say hello. And if we've got any pork pies in, you can have one when you come out as well. So here we are, Manchester Flight Sim Centre. We've had a cracking time, and let's watch our kid Fezza get this A320 safely on the ground for the final time this evening, folks. Let's get some celebration. You want some 10 out of 10s for today's stream in the chat as well.
I haven't landed yet to save the celebrations. There's a really well to me there. Jordan Balfour saying, dump fuel. Well, we've got 2 tons. I don't think we need to dump any fuel.
We've got the gear down. Good. We're burning.
We'll have a look at our status page with 59 tons. So we are pretty good.
We've got
Max
a couple of problems,
is
you see,
64.5, isn't it?
Let's have a look. We can't dump fuel on the Airbus.
Nope.
And at the moment, our fuel burn is 4 tonnes an hour. And we've only got, look how quickly the fuel's going down. We've got 2 tonnes. So, yeah, we...
You're getting a bit sharp, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't really want to make a you don't want to make a haulix of this one. Because we can go around, we can put the gear up, but now...
we might not make it to Liverpool.
Yeah, it's now getting squeaky bum time. The gear will come back up.
We should have landed this into Liverpool. Would have made the airport look a bit better, wouldn't we? Now, big shout out to Liverpool Airport for their your mic's on, Martin. Big shout out to Liverpool Airport as we got invited to there on last Friday to catch the Liverpool the Play Airlines come in. So that was really good. Their inaugural flight. And I believe they shouted us out on Facebook and all our socials. So pretty good. Right, final approach, final fix. So we're going to arm approach. I'm sure we'll get final app. Approach nav, and then when we hit this, should go final lap. 160 knots, flap 2. We're looking good for the somewhat. And we have just over 10 miles to run.
Let me have a quick think, because I'm sure there's a little something else to do with this one.
Previously is the minimum safe altitude here at Manchester. No audio apparently, Martin.
Yes, I know, because that was expected. We had an issue with the rear camera.
Are we back now?
Yes, we're back. Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry about that, guys. We were running on a external battery, but we just had to chuck a new battery in there.
Okay, cool.
Right, so what we would have normally done is we would have shifted the centre of gravity as back forward, so we would take 10 passengers from the front to the rear and get them at the back to get the weight back, to get the weight off the nose.
Back of the plane, please.
Yeah, shift. Okay. It's good. GPWS system off.
Yep.
Because it didn't tell us there. We've done that. Do not arm auto brake, manual brakes. Emergency exit lights can go on. Cabin report. That's the main landing gear. Anti-skid nose wheel steering off.
None of that, yep. Off. Ecom, clear that.
Brakes, anti-skid, yep. You got your pressure there. Happy days.
Right.
Actually, no, you can put that back on because that's for main landing gear. We'll have that back.
Cool.
Engine should be shut down sufficiently early. So in the flare, I'm going to have to shut the engines down for you. Do not use reverse because they're not going to work. If nose gear, landing gear up more, keep nose up after touchdown, keep the nose off the runway, and then lower it gently onto the runway before control is lost. Before nose impact, all engine masters off.
That is, it's cool how you got to turn them off on the flare, isn't it?
Yep.
Right, just past 5 miles, we'll take flap 3, please.
Speed check, flaps 3, and we're past 2,000. Camera crew take up landing positions.
Right, let's get a feel for this. My aircraft.
Your aircraft, you have control.
And I'll take flaps full, please.
Speed check, flaps full. And I'll give you the land chips as much as possible.
Our Wizz Air landing channels.
Yeah, they're good. Right, land checks. Cabin is secure for an
Secured.
emergency landing. Auto thrust.
Airspeed.
Auto brake is off, and ECAM memo is landing with 1 blue for the landing gear we know about. Go around altitude.
3,500 set.
Check, cleared to land.
1,000 feet.
We're all relying on you.
And we're going in 2-3 left as well, ladies and
Yep.
gents, so this will be very interesting.
I've just had a message my kids are watching. Hi.
Yeah.
And we're going to get that. Emergency cancel.
Emergency cancel.
Put some animals on the runway and make it go around.
No, we've already had in. We've already asked for a sterile runway.
I tried that earlier,
Soon
actually.
the flare, I'll shut the engines down, chap.
100 above.
Okay.
500.
Stable. It's working hard.
Minimum 4.
Hope Alan is live for song side for this. All right.
200.
I'm going to leave them for you, just for the engines.
Yeah, your thrust levers. I'll do these.
Champion.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Beautiful. No spoilers, no reverse. Oh, everything's going right. Gently get that nose down. 100 knots. $90 knots. It's going to go down lower than that. Beautiful. 80 knots. Manual brakes. 70 knots. Weren't that bad.
You wouldn't have felt that, man, would you?
Yeah.
Smoother than one of my landings with all my wheels.
He's the legend.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
skills, son.
Happy days. Oh, thought it was a plane, that was the tower. We'll set the part
There's
mate.
your wireless glide slope transmitter there. Well done, chap.
Thank you very much.
Well done, guys.
Well done, mate. No
That
one
was
died.
10 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic.
Let's get this sim back up and running then. Yeah.
That
There we
was cruel.
Should we wrap it there then? I
There
think
we
that's
go.
a great time to wrap it on, guys. What an absolutely fantastic stream that was. Again, a massive thank you to Pilot Mark. And again, Mr. jonFezza there, he is on his camera looking absolutely fresh. He's chuffed, look, he absolutely greased it with only 2 wheels, never mind. Guys, what an awesome stream. This has been a massive thanks to Andy and Mike from the Manchester Flight Sim Centre for letting us use this fantastic space today, bringing you this awesome stream. Andy absolutely smashing it on the camera as well, doing a great job. John and Mark for being here all day, getting involved and just practicing, getting ready for what's been an awesome show tonight. But as always, it's been an absolute belter, and we've been Airliners Live. You've been awesome. One last look at Andy and Mark. John and Mark, sorry.
That side.
There we go, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, peeps.
Thanks
Cheers,
for
everyone.
tuning in.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
And
mate.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you again soon. Take it easy. Ta-ra for now.
See ya.
Open your eyes and let the light into your mind. How far can you see?
And of course, a massive thanks to all the support, VIPs, donations. Thanks, everyone. You've all been amazing. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for all the support, guys. And if you booked on, let us know. Drop us a message. Take it easy. Ta-ra for now.